Can you hear me now?
It's just funny, like having you and Al in the same room together after so long. It's like, damn.
After I've been harassing fucking Chris every 30 seconds, like, when is Sue coming down? When is Sue coming down?
Yeah.
Like, that was the first thing he said to me when I came down here. I was like, hey, Al. He's like, oh my God, you're still alive.
Yeah. Well, we all know that. Everyone back to our fucked up work schedules and stuff. Like, I felt bad because Al usually, like, we're on a Thursday and he works doubles, and talking to my friend Phil, Phil was just like, he got into an argument with his wife and stuff, and his, I'm the asshole arguing with my girlfriend, I shaved my head. Phil buys a brand new truck. So, I seen his truck. I'm like, how much the truck cost? $60 fucking $1,000, dude. He's like, yeah, I gotta work a lot of overtime. And I'm like, that truck's nice, but damn. He's like,
so, you know what? Story. So last Thursday was Chris's mom's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I was out during the day. I forgot to grab, like, candles and shit. I was out with my brother getting, like, all the shit that we needed.
Mm-hmm.
And so I messaged Chris, and I'm like, hey, I forgot to grab candles. Can you, like, grab candles for your mom's birthday cake? And he's like, text Salena, because I'll forget. So I messaged Salena, and I'm like, hey, make sure you, like, grab candles, because in my infinite wisdom, I grabbed a cake, I grabbed cards, I grabbed, like, this, that, and the third. I forgot candles and shit. And she's like, yeah, no problem. They get to the freaking store. She looks at Chris. She's like, how old is your mom? And he's like, wait, how old was she when I was born? I don't know. And so he grabs a 6, a 2, a 3, and a 4.
yeah.
And he's like, one of those numbers is correct. Susan will know.
I swear to it's Salena goes, Chris.
Oh my God.
She said, what year was your mom born? I stared at her for like 30 seconds. She's like,
59!
She's like, you're a horrible son. I'm like,
Your mother is 62.
So, and that's what's funny, how much Susan knows me. So we walk into the house, Selena's got a card, we have the flowers and stuff. I put them on the kitchen table, 4 different numbers, and first thing Susan said, she's like, you forgot your mother's birth, your age, didn't you? And I'm like...
And, like, the moment I said it, like, my brother starts laughing, Jen starts laughing, her boyfriend Chris starts laughing, and Nancy's like, of course, Chris would be the one to forget how old I am.
I was like, it's the 60s. I'm like, I knew it wasn't 65 because she's not getting retirement and pension, so I'm like, that. So I kept up to 5, so I got the other 4.
And, like, he made sure, like, not to get 1, but, like, he got 6, 2, 3, 4, and, like, everyone's just sitting there. But
you're not sure. You
so that's,
go
like,
out.
one of the first funny things that happens is Chris forgot how old his mom is.
Mm.
Then his mom's looking at him and she's like, why did you cut your hair?
Yeah, you know what? A lot people might be mad at the haircut, but it looks good on you, bro.
It does look good on him, but
looks good on you.
here's the thing though, we were starting to get used to him with the longer hair.
Yeah.
So like she's looking
hippie.
at him and she's like but she's looking at him and she's like, we were getting so used to you with the long hair, like why the hell did you shave it all off and so on and blah blah blah. Do you know how many men would like appreciate having the type of hair that you have? And so on. And this asshole does a side glance at my brother, his cousin, who is like, he's no longer got like even a 5 head. He's got like a 7 head at this point. That's how far back his hairline has receded.
Oh, God.
And
she's not lying.
And like the moment he does it, Robert looks at me. He's like, fuck you, Chris. And it's like, it's a common like occurrence now. Like, because one week Robert starts singing at karaoke and Chris looks at him and he's like, oh, he sounds good. He's like, but hey, Rob, you need some hair on top of your head. Like, you're balding. And shit. Like, I'm recording him. So you hear all this over the recording.
Yeah. Then Jennifer's boyfriend, Chris, he always wears a baseball cap because he takes the baseball cap off. He's got the exact spot, the back there. So now he's like, yeah, Chris, you asshole. Some of us wish we could grow it.
And then, of course, my brother, he's like, well, I shaved my head and everyone made fun of me when I shaved my head. But the funny part is, he's like, now it grew back in thicker. And it's like, yeah, okay.
I mean, the parts that were left. But
exactly.
Like Al said, I definitely looked in the mirror. I'm like, I do like it. But then again, part of me is just, I was used to, like, it's Selena's mother. Even the funny part, even when at work, I go into work, one of the guys there, one of the main, some supervisors, damn, what happened to your fuck head, dude? I'm just started laughing. And I was,
and it's like, everyone asked him, they're like, why did you cut it? And he's like, I did it out of anger. And it's like, Out of anger, he's like, revenge. And it's like, revenge?
She's like, I love your long flowing hair. It feels so good. I'm like, yeah, I like that fucking long flowing hair. Here's your fucking long flowing hair. Like,
he's like, now it's gone.
Yeah. Then, of course, and 2 days later, she's like, I do like the buzz cut. I'm like, you fucking bitch. I can't
Now I gotta grow an afro.
Yeah, really. It's just, god damn. And it was over and of course, the dumbest argument, too, we're looking back, I'm like, yeah, sometimes.
What was the argument over? Like, why are you guys like.
Well, before you get into like Alice, like, and I've noticed this more about myself, even the past like year, maybe it's I'm getting older, my fuse is getting shorter, but I am very prone to anger, and I'm talking to Al about more things, and he's been calming me down because I had a situation like a week ago. He's like, before you do anything again, talk to me first.
Well, of course, Al is like a big fat Buddha.
So
you got fucking Mahatma Gandhi over there, trying to like talk you out of like your stupidity.
I love when I have conversations with Al, and I have conversations with Selena's mother, and Selena's mother she reminds me so much of my grandmother. Yeah. She's just fucking pure joy, and just such like the way Al talks about his mom is like talking to Selena's mother. The woman has said she's like if there was sainthood, it's her mom. Her mom is a fucking saint, and I just love every time I talk to her mother about her daughter, and she loves her daughter. She understands her daughter's a fucking idiot in a loving way. But any advice she gives me, I'll have a conversation with her mother, then Al, and the fucking advice is verbatim, and it's scary. But I keep saying like Al's like an old fat white lady and shit, you know. And I
don't know how to take that.
What the fuck?
So I don't know if that's a compliment or a fight. Like you just challenged me to a fist fight in the streets.
Like, are we talking like Al's getting the sex change and he's getting like the bleach done to his skin?
I keep telling him like it's his knowledge of women is so much better than mine. I'm like Al's a fucking like a guru of women, older women.
So I grew up in a house with a mother and 4 older sisters. I also have 2 younger sisters.
Jesus.
So, I've been around a lot of women.
Not to cut you off, I literally remember one of our, because I told you I've been re-listening to the podcast since they've been put up on YouTube.
The funny part, if you said, you're right that in the sense that sometimes apps and stuff like Spotify, I do them at certain times, other listening to. Sometimes YouTube, I get that it is easier to listen to stuff. So like I would like saying,
well, it's like you have like the app for YouTube to begin with, so it's like
already there.
It's already there.
It's been proven It's been proven with Joe. It's like Joe is still have a pretty good fan base and stuff. A lot of his fans, I'm reading comments. A lot of the people they're so used to Joe being on YouTube that it's just a transition. Even though Spotify's still free, Spotify's still there. Once you're used to one thing, you're just used to that, and that's like. And Joe,
I think like also half the problem is like I don't have Spotify myself personally.
A lot of people don't. I mean,
and like where Spotify's concerned, like I had what the hell was it, Pandora?
Yeah.
For music. So I had no reason to get Spotify in the first place where that was concerned. And then like now I don't even really use my Pandora anymore because I have Apple Music.
And I hate to say it, Salena got me into YouTube Music, and it keeps asking for the free trial. We don't use it, but like it's YouTube. I can't deny their accessibility.
Yeah,
that's let's say Rumble, and that whoever hears just the powers that be. I did put us on Rumble, but you can tell Rumble is a newer platform of YouTube. It's like Netflix. Netflix, not shit on Hulu or Peacock and Disney Plus, but everyone knows Netflix has by far the easiest, the best interface. Fucking hands down. It is. Yeah. Like I get pissed off if I hop on Hulu or something, or I pop on Disney Plus, or I got fucking Peacock, and like the players it's like just so shitty compared to Netflix is fucking perfect.
I'm still kind of upset with you because you're saying you had Peacock before I had Peacock.
Yeah.
And you didn't tell me you had Peacock, and then I went and ordered Peacock.
Yeah, I'm just keeping.
So now I'm paying $4.99 a month for an app.
Well, cancel it then.
I'm using it.
Well, no,
that's
use
the
mine.
thing. Yeah. But that's the thing. I have it. I'm using it constantly. Like I'm in the middle right now of watching like so many different fucking bullshit on there. Yeah. Like I just rewatched like all 8 Harry Potter movies.
Of course.
I'm a fucking I'm a freaking like wrestling junkie when it comes to like anything and everything to do with like WWE.
Yeah.
And that was part of the reason why I got in the first place was because the WWE app, like...
died.
Went kaput.
Yeah.
And they sold the rights to it to Peacock, of course. And one thing I will give WWE credit for was the last month of subscription that I had for them, they reimbursed me for.
Okay.
And then when I started Peacock, it was like, okay, well, for $4.99 a month, you can watch WrestleMania live. And to me, like, that was freaking awesome because
that makes it worth it all right there.
Because when you're a kid, and like I'm rewatching like the very old freaking like year 1 and 2 of Raw right now.
Yeah.
And like this is before like all of the mainstream shit, all that bullshit. Al, I know you're not that big a wrestling fan of at all.
Yeah.
But like
he knows wrestling.
I used to be a wrestling fan right up until this new age wrestling started.
But okay, so like you remember like year 1 and 2 of like Raw, like 93, 94, that sort of shit, right? So they're having on there, it's like, okay, for like a certain amount of money a month, like not even a month, but like if you pay this money to your local cable subscriber, you can get WrestleMania on pay-per-view and shit. And it's like, I remember that from when I was like 10, 11 years old when we first got it. And like, I remember my mom calling it and like getting frustrated and going, you know what? We can see it through the freaking like lines on the screen. Like Chris Jericho comes out like fine. Like everything's fine. We don't need to like order it and shit. But like going back and like rewatching it on the app, it makes me laugh now because it's like, yeah, you don't have to call your local cable subscriber. Just like for $4.99 a month, you could have fucking Peacock and watch every fucking pay-per-view you want to.
Yeah. Before I talk about what because I just noticed when I was mentioning the truck, Al said something, but if you're
I was about to say that regardless of what anybody wants to say about Phil's truck, it is a very nice fucking
I wouldn't deny it. It's a nice truck.
It is nice.
What kind of truck did Phil get?
It's a Ford.
It's a Ford F-250. I can't remember what it is.
It's a
F-150?
It's like an F-250.
It's a 250.
It's fucking huge. Yeah.
Damn.
But it's a nice truck.
Oh.
Yeah.
4-door?
Yeah, it is. And I remember I said to him, because he was
Phil's
complaining.
Married, right?
Yeah. But that's why he bought the truck for, because his wife
don't say stuff like that, Sue, because you're going to get him beat up. As soon as I find out that you try to hit on him, I'm going to attack him viciously. But I was looking at his truck, and he was saying that he said he kind of regrets buying a truck only because of how expensive it is and the monthly thing he's got to pay. But other than that, he likes the truck. But he was saying that there are trucks out there that people could have probably done so much better with, like it offered so much more amenities or whatever. And I'm like, bro, don't listen.
I feel like is the best when it comes to trucks.
And that's the thing. There is no best, because no matter what you get, if I've got more money, I could get more shit. It doesn't matter how tricked out your truck is. If
I'm not talking like all of that. Like all the tricked out, like all the like bells and whistles type of thing. I'm talking like Ford, like when it comes to like the engine of the truck.
It's hard.
Truck wise,
it's
like
hard.
Car wise, Ford is shit.
It's hard.
Well, I could say this about Phil, and when it comes to vehicles, he knows his shit.
Yeah.
And he picked the truck based on its capabilities.
Yeah.
So
exactly. That's
it's
what
a good truck.
saying.
Yeah.
And I was telling him today, I was like, I feel like he's regretting the truck because other people are telling him, oh, you could have got this other stuff. And and I'm like, bro, you can't let anybody that doesn't have a truck as nice as yours tell you about what kind of truck you got.
Exactly.
Like, your truck is better than all the shit they got. Like, stop letting them guys tell you stupid shit.
Exactly. And, like, that's where, like, that's concerned. Like, you can get, like, all the bells and whistles if you get, like, a Chevy truck or a Ram truck or, like, anything along those lines. But when it comes to the capability, like, the capacity of like what a Ford truck is, like that's why they always say if you're getting a truck, go with Ford.
Yeah. No, like Al said, it's people out there, like no matter what you do, it's like you can say, I just bought a Porsche. Porsches are nice, but you didn't buy a Ferrari. Wait, what?
Like, and I'm telling
Ferrari, someone would say you didn't buy a Lamborghini.
I shit you not. I remember years ago I was working at my garage or whatever, and a guy had bought a new Camaro. It was a Camaro, a that year Camaro. It was green and it had a tan roof. And I looked at it and I was like, this is fucking awesome. Yeah. It's mint. Then there's a guy sitting next to me. He goes, it's all right. I can't stand that tan roof. I'm looking at him like, bro, that car is better than your whole entire existence right now. Nothing you drive, nowhere that you live, nothing that you've worn, the money you have in a bag, nothing compares to this Camaro. What are you talking about? Like he's trying to downplay how awesome the Camaro is. Like, and I don't even understand why. It's a nice car. The guy bought a nice car. Because it's called
jealousy.
Like, I don't. Maybe he was jealous. Maybe he's just a hater. Who knows? But it kind of blew my mind. I was like, how do you live in that space?
Like a hater and a person who's jealous, they're pretty much the same thing. Because like, if you're going to go and bash someone for something they have, it's 9 times out of 10 you're pretty envious because you don't have it.
No, definitely
crazy.
No, that's what, like, when I first bought the Civic, I'm sure, like, there's obviously better cars out there. Since the day I've had that Civic, that thing's my fucking baby. I'm gonna miss it. And like, well, yeah, I have a Ford Maverick coming in, and my Ford Maverick, the whole time I paid for this fucking truck, never one time I'd be like, oh, I wish I had so and so, and I'm happy. But
so you haven't told me too much about the Ford Maverick, like
I was talking to Phil about, we're laughing. It's like his truck is definitely twice the size of the one I'm getting.
Yeah.
However, like you said, because right now, come December 1st, who knows what's going to happen, but now I was talking to Selena's mom about this, that now, and again, I'm not political, I don't know what's going on and shit, but since Biden left Afghanistan, I've been noticing gas is really getting high.
Oh, yeah.
But they're saying fucking California's right now like $5 a gallon. So, like, even in New York, like, I mean, in Albany.
There was, not to cut you off, sorry about that. There was, I was watching this TikTok, I was going to send it to you, I don't even remember why I didn't, but this guy, I don't remember where he was in the country, but he said, look at this line to the gas station, right? He said, you see a line like this and you assume that the gas prices are great.
Yeah.
He zoomed in on the gas price. That shit was $9.99 a gallon.
Oh,
I physically cringed. I was like, oh, fuck. I would have left that state. Like, I would have moved out over the price of gas.
That is terrifying.
I was like, holy shit. I was like, yo, if it hits that up here, I would be on the bus.
See, like, that's what is terrifying, though, when it comes to gas prices going up like that, because, like, people who have cars, they don't want to drive their cars because they don't want to pay the price for the car.
Exactly.
Eventually, the bus company will, like, up their ante as well because, like, they still have to pay those gas prices. If you're traveling out of state, like, the bus companies through, like, Trailways, Greyhound, Peter Pan, all of those, their prices are going to go up because they still have to, like, compensate for that.
Oh,
no matter what they're going to.
You're 100% right.
And so on. And, like, it's going to suck because as it keeps, like, rising, we're going to feel the effects of it. And we're not going to like it by the time it's all said and done.
Yeah. This is the thing that we got to look forward to, though, is that that the gas prices get ridiculous and the bus companies, all the taxis and Uber, everybody's going to have to increase their prices. But I promise you, what the bus company is going to charge us for a ride is still going to be far less than a gallon of gas. Like, it's going to be like, oh, we're going to charge you $4 to get on the bus. That's still...
It really will still be, like, less than what it would cost to, like, gas up every week your car. But it would still be, like, a pain in the ass because then, okay, the people who don't have cars to begin with, who are going from, like, okay, here in Albany, like, our bus, every time we take the bus, if you're taking, like, the Bus Plus, it's already $2. If you're taking, like, the 1 or the 12 or, like, just the regular, like, routed buses, it's $1.50. So, where that's concerned, those people who don't have a car, who don't usually deal with that in the first place, they're the ones who are really going to be pissed off because half the time... How many of them bitch? They're like, well, I don't have $1.50. I don't have $2.
That $1.50 makes them feel real entitled. Like, I'm paying you $1.50. You need to pick me up at my front door, drop me in the parking lot of my job.
And, like, when it goes up, if it goes up, like, they're going to be even bigger assholes.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
Because if they don't have $1.50 right now, how bad is it going to be when they have to spend $4?
You ain't lying. You are absolutely right. It's going to be crazy because what's going to piss me off is going from the convenience of being able to practically roll out my front door, land on my car, and drive whatever fucking route I want to get to where I want to go. Yep. I now have to find a bus stop.
Exactly.
Stand there and wait until the bus shows up.
Exactly.
Like, get on the bus and stop wherever the bus stop is and then walk to my job.
And then you have to feel bad for the bus driver because then they have to deal with all this bullshit because unfortunately, and like dealing with this in retail for as many years as I have, like you've realized how many people, like, they see the company, but they don't think of, like, the people that are so high up. They're looking at you, the cashier.
As if you're the person
in charge. Like you're the asshole. Like, I can't stand you. If I could, I'd spit in your face type of shit.
Like, and they will do the exact same.
They will act this exact same way to the bus driver.
You're not lying. Yeah. And we see it all the time. Like Chris speak for experience. We see it all the time. Like,
exactly.
They get on the bus and they act as if you're the one that's doing this to them. Like
exactly.
I'm going to talk about that in a minute on a side note, but No, so that's basically to what I was telling Phil about this new truck. It's called a Ford Maverick. It's actually a 2022, and that's
nice.
me and Phil laughed about. He's like, well, I was like, so Phil, the truck is huge, and by all measurements, his truck is twice the size of the one I'm getting. I said, so just curious, how much you get to the gallon? He goes, 12 miles. Wait. So I get 12 miles a gallon. Yeah, so it's like you're driving a tank, dude. I'm like, no bullshit. This Maverick, it's 42 miles to the gallon. So yeah, your truck is twice my size, but again, when it costs you $50 just to get to work in the morning, it's so.
Oh, that sucks.
I mean, no, I said that's why I picked it for, because of it's a smaller vehicle. It's it's a hybrid, and it doesn't have nowhere near
hybrid truck.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's new. It's that's why it's a 2022. So I put $1,000
Chris
down.
is so freaking bougie now. He has a freaking hybrid.
Exactly.
All Heisen did he now?
That's like that's why I did it, because it technically gets more miles even than my fucking Civic does. So it's like I lose a lot of power, but like around, like I said,
That's actually pretty impressive though.
Considering where Phil lives out in the middle of the country, it makes sense. But for city driving, I wouldn't. The size of his fucking truck, where would I put that thing around here? Like,
Yeah, it would not
no point
fit.
for it.
You'd have to like ask Robert to borrow his freaking his tap.
Well, he knows the
tag
driving
thing.
I do too. It's like me bringing Salena home would cost me like $60 to fucking bring her home and back. Like it's like fuck that. So
Exactly.
I mean.
But any vehicle that you buy now that helps with fuel economy, that is a good idea, especially with gas prices the way they are right now. And if it gets any worse, I shit you not, I will fucking just park my car in the backyard and just call it a day. I'll be Ubering, lifting, and everything else that I could do to not actually drive.
Yeah.
At fucking $9.99 a gallon. Fuck that.
So
That's crazy, man.
Absolutely not.
I was noticing something. Like, the more, like, going further into the podcast, some things we've gotten away from.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you no longer say the date anymore.
Oh, just because it's because when Junior was still here, he kept saying, like, you said it did every single time. And I was like, well, I wanted to keep basically a timestamp, like, to, like, when. I mean, I still talk about, hey, guys, we're in November now. We're in December now. But, like, I was doing the first, like, 10 episodes with me, Al and Junior. Hey, guys, it's May 5th or it's May 19th. And I mean, it wasn't, just one of the things we just, because I felt in the beginning it was kind of like a reference, because I did want to see, like, hey guys, so this thing called COVID just hit and stuff, and maybe a year from now it'll be gone.
Yeah, okay.
It's like, and whoa, so, but
like, you stopped doing that, and another thing we stopped doing is, like, okay, we, like, immediately, like, went right into, like, talking.
Yeah.
There's no going around and saying, like, hey, what's everyone drinking?
Oh, I feel right now, I just kind of like, I just naturally, it depends on the flow.
We did that the last couple of times.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to mention, because you're drinking Bud Light, and I got Jack and Dr.
Bud Light
Pepper's.
Lime.
I don't fucking cares.
I got Heineken Light in a cup with a little bit of Sprite Zero on top of it.
How you liking the Sprite Zero?
I like the Sprite Zero. It is actually pretty good.
Heineken Light with Sprite Zero?
Yeah.
Okay, forget Chris being bougie as all hell. Freaking out.
Nah, what it is I wanted to taste the Sprite Zero, but I had the Heineken Light in the cup already.
Yeah.
So I just put the Sprite on top of it.
Like, I was right. No, it depends. Like, right now, like, I was just happy to get, because you and Al haven't been here in a long time together. So I'm like, let's just start shooting this shit and stuff. I just press the record button, and like we talked about in the past, certain days I have a certain topic I want to talk about. But right now, just having you and Al together, I figured just hit the record button, freestyle, and when things come up, they will come up. And just, there have been a lot of times where me and Al sit here, or you, and we just talk about random shit turns into a fucking 3-hour talk.
Well, yeah, obviously.
So,
but yeah.
Well, like he mentioned, I didn't know if I told you this about Salena, because I wanted her to be here, but Al was mentioning in person a couple days ago that sometimes depends on the night. Like, we'll talk about one topic for like an hour. Other times we go through like a lot of news articles. I said, well, the thing is, when I pop a news article where some kid sticks a fucking USB cable down his dick, I can't spend an hour talking about
that.
That's on the last episode.
Okay, I'm gonna have to listen to that, because that I don't even have a penis, but like that's sounds
what's hilarious.
Painful.
I was telling Al about that. Selena's like, Chris, I don't have a dick, and this hurts me listening to it.
Yeah, it's like that instant like reflex you have, like if you're a girl and you see a guy get kicked in the nuts, like instantly like you close your legs because it's like, even though you don't have it, it's like, ow.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, and I told Al, I definitely learned a valuable lesson. Like, I've noticed that this happens often.
I think this is also why, like, when guys watch women giving birth, they pass out.
Oh,
yeah,
because they could not imagine that pain.
Yeah, no.
They could not imagine that.
On some level, we understand it. We understand that it's something we're never going to experience.
Yeah.
And we equate it to the closest thing we can, which is being kicked in the balls.
Yeah.
And that makes us black out.
But then it's like, it's that. That's where that whole thing comes into play, where, like, a lot of people have asked, like,
talk about that.
You know, what's more painful, a woman giving birth or a guy getting kicked in the nuts?
Well, the reason that I would say that women have it rougher in that circumstance is because giving birth is a longer process.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, if we get kicked in the nuts, it's like a moment of pain, it goes away, and it's like, fuck it.
But at the same point in time, a lot of times they'll say women will forget the pain that they've gone through giving birth. That's why there are women out there who have multiple amounts of children.
Exactly.
But a guy never forgets that pain of being kicked in the balls.
Here's why. I have the perfect explanation for this.
You're not wrong.
The reason we don't forget getting kicked in the balls is
you
because
don't get a baby afterwards.
It is the thing that reminds us to protect our balls. The reason women have to forget is because if a woman didn't forget, there would be no more kids. Like if a woman was like, "Oh, I'm never going to forget
simply like
this
you have like this you have this immense pain, and then someone's like, "Oh wait, here's this baby. Like, look how cute it is." And most babies, when they come out, they look like aliens. So like you have to like fake it for like a second or two.
Speaking of that, when she hears this, she's gonna fucking hate me for saying this, but you know, I've had certain rules with my girlfriend now that, you know, when she gets to a certain level of drunkenness, like the first time we all fucking met her, she tends to not forget things that she does and says.
Wait, you set rules?
Yeah, well, you know, there's certain fucking.
Oh my God, Chris is turning into Christian Grey with this girlfriend.
There's certain rules of like, you know, we're not gonna like.
Selena, blink twice if you're in danger.
Me and her are not gonna be intimate because when your girlfriend says, "I don't remember last night," oh fuck. Yeah, it's happened a couple of times. So when she comes home from work, she says, "Chris, I had a couple beers. You're so sexy and adorable." And of course, I'm a man. You know, it's like, and next you know, fuck, her head's between your legs, and like shit. Next day she wakes up and she's like, "Did we do something?" Oh fuck. But this happened a few weeks back, and of course she denies all of it because now I'm putting her on the spot because she's not here. But
of course,
it's like, and I wanted to tell Al about this, but I was waiting for the podcast. Where, you know, you lay in a friggin' bed, she had a couple drinks, she's rubbing your chest, and I love you so much, and I care about you, no problem. And she winds up like just navigating her fucking hand like down to your nether regions. You're like, oh, okay, not getting too graphic, but jokingly and drunkenly, she says something, "Hey, honey, I should, like, you know, kind of twins these." I'm like, "Wait, what?" And she grabs fucking both. How she fit both into one hand scares me to this fucking day.
It's you.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, and I said to her, "I'm impressed by how big of fucking manly hands you have." Fuck you. And so at one point, she gets them both and she squeezes. Now, it starts as a playful kind of fucking squeeze, and then it turns into like I hit falsetto. We're like, and of course, next day she's like, "Chris," it's to the point where I got up and I was walking funny for like an hour. She woke up and she's like, "Chris, what's wrong with you? You're in a fetal position." And I'm like, I'm almost like it said, just like, it's like, like that. And I thought I was going to wake the entire house up. And she's like, "I didn't fucking do that." And I'm like, "Look, they're black and blue." I'm like, "You definitely, I didn't do it to my fucking self." All right. And she's like, "I am so sorry." And I'm like, "Listen, now like the past 2 times she put her hand near my fucking crotch, I instinctively fucking like, you know, recoiled from her." And she's like, "I didn't do that." I was like, "Selena, trust me when I say this, when it comes to a man and his fucking nuts, I'm not making this up." And I'm like, I am right now deathly afraid of like the fact that she squeezed and pulled in a certain direction, and what came out of me didn't sound human. It sounded like she was torturing an animal, and she remembers none of it. And I'm like, so like Al was saying, I've heard stories, I've heard accounts where like some guys get kicked in the fucking balls and they can keep going and fighting. I can tell you, I think I'm pretty pain tolerant. I'm pretty fucking tough of a dude. If you kick me in the fucking nuts, I'm dropping sacker than a fucking 30-pound bag of bricks. Like, oh fuck, like it's still, even like I was like, just hearing it just makes me twinge. And like the past couple of days, she's like, "Hey honey, I want to like, you know, take a shower." I'm like, "You're not going near my fucking nuts." Like, I remember doing that, and I'm like, you did it. And I'm like,
"That's crazy."
You fit them both into one hand, and it fucking hurt. Like, Jesus Christ.
The crazy thing about that is that it's such a weird place to be in, because most guys, we love when our girlfriends play with our balls, right? But this becomes the problem. This becomes the problem. The problem is when you want your balls played with, but you're afraid of them getting hurt.
Yeah, I am now.
Oh man.
You know, she fucking started trying to pull my fucking boxers down. I kind of like hesitated. What's wrong? I was like, that happened 2 weeks ago. I still remember it as it happened 5 seconds ago. Because I was like, I remember every detail of like, and she remembers none of it, and that hurts me that much.
It has to be even worse though, where like you're like slowly like getting into the mood. And like you're almost like
not anymore
there, and then all of a sudden like this intense fear like overtakes you.
Yeah, it's like so. I will never know the joys and pain of giving fucking birth, but I can tell you what.
Well, now you know how it feels to be dominated.
I said, yeah, definitely. I said, well, honey, I've been, I've never actually been kicked in the fucking balls in my life. I attest that I never had that kind of situation with women.
Winter, Chris.
Yeah.
The
I said, honey, I've literally been fucking stabbed. I've been had fucking bones broken. I've had stitches. I've had multiple surgeries. You name it, it's been done to me. And I'm
Ginger, like clawed you down your face.
Oh fuck! For fuck's sakes! I was like, it's the best way to describe it. It's like, yeah, it's because initially you don't fucking feel it. You feel it inside of your stomach, and it lasts there for like a good half hour, and like it hurts to fucking walk, and you're coughing the entire time. And I can't describe it more than that. So. And like next day, I am so sorry, and I'm like, listen, thank God I have self-control. I've never punched a woman in the face before. And I said to her, you almost woke up with a fucking black eye. And I would have felt so horrible, but in my fucking defense, she would have deserved it.
You know what's scary about it? Is that most men's instinct, like when your balls are in danger, your ability to think clearly is gone. Like most men instinct is to like immediately start throwing punches. Like
that's why like okay, like when we've talked in the past about porn, it's like I don't find it attractive watching like those ones where it's like the woman like stepping on the guy's balls or like doing like the torture shit to like them because it's like okay, you're like literally causing this man like pain, like
that's one of them fetish things.
Freaking pain. It's like you would not want a guy like putting like an electric like whatever up inside your cooch
or biting down on your clit like full force.
I said that to her. I was like, I'm gonna fucking bite your clit. She, fuck you. I was like,
so it's like when they like do those freaking ones, it's like who the hell is getting off to this?
There's definitely some kind of
weirdos.
Like,
there are weirdos out there, man. I'm telling you. Like, you know what? That's wrong. Let me not classify them
No, you're weirdos.
No, they are weirdos.
Everybody has their fetish, and I don't like to ever attack a person's fetish.
I'll attack it.
But some people are into that. Like, I've seen a lot of weird. Like, I never get over this one. I always talk
gentlemen
about it.
out there, like, I will never do that to you, so holler at your girl.
Yeah. Oh boy. No, Al's right. There's there's definitely fetishes for all kinds of things, and I've always said it before, like everything we talk about. Like, you have the right to do whatever you want. I'm for that. And, I still feel like almost like Dave Chappelle, I have the right to laugh at you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying you're harming anybody, but like, it's if you want to stick cucumbers up your ass, God bless, dude. Like, and I'm going to laugh at you. Like, I mean, I'm not going to stop you from doing it, but,
That reminds me of the freaking, like, one moment in Ted when him and his girlfriend are working at the freaking supermarket, and the freaking manager, like, walks in on them having sex, and he, like, makes it to him, and he's like, you were fucking her with a what? He's like, I fucked her with a zucchini. And then 5 seconds later, I sold it to a woman and her children.
He's like, we need your kind of attitude. You're promoted to manager. He's like, you have problems, don't you? Like, he kept promoting Ted the entire movie. Higher levels of management. And I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, Christ, yeah. Like, if she hears this shit. And Chris, I'm like, yeah, honey, just like, I said, well, yeah, when next time you fucking get drunk, I am going to be fully clothed from now on. Like, you're not going anywhere fucking near me. Like,
you're like going to be wearing like a freaking chastity belt.
She was all playful and stuff too. I just want to grab and play with him. Yeah, no problem. I want to grab and play with him. And never again. So, but something Al said to me the other day. I've kind of been rehearsing this for the past 2 days since he said this to me, and I was thinking about rehearsing because, like, now that said, we're on YouTube and Rumble, and I'd say we have a small, modest following, but you never know. You never know what's gonna happen one day. We could get 1,000 listeners one day, and
I mean, right now, like watching our YouTube freaking channel,
yeah,
we only have like 8 subscribers, and they're all of us.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, to its credit, episode 1, we got like fucking like 30 views. Again, 30 is not like
it's all of us watching it back to back to back to back.
Well, I have been reading. People have been saying this stuff.
No, I can't even say that. Like, one of them actually has a comment on it.
Yeah.
It's in a different language, but there's a comment.
It's probably a bot, but But no, I've been reading people on the Buzzsprout Facebook group, and people have said, "Hey guys, sometimes when it comes to this podcasting thing, some people it takes them 3, 4, 5 years, and then just one day something
Boom.
word of mouth, somebody clicks on it, and then boom, you just get a flood. Like I said, the Critical Drinker now, the Drinker on YouTube, he's up to 900,000 subscribers. He goes, guys, it took me like for like 2-3 years in a row, he was making YouTube videos. No one heard of him, and just one day, it just popped up. He starts getting like 1,000 subscribers every month. Next, you know, he's like, bam. He's like, I never thought in my whole YouTube making these funny drunken videos, I'd hit 900,000 subscribers, because for the first couple of years, he had like 10 subscribers. Yeah. Sometimes that's all it takes. So I said with this thing, who knows? One day it could take us 5 years. We don't know. But my point making is like, after something Al said to me, I've been kind of rehearsing where I've been very selective. If you want to see work for Goodwill, or Junior in the past said he wants to work for Best Buy, you guys can't. It's your prerogative.
Actually, I never wanted to say that I work for Goodwill. You're the one who brought up the fact that I work for Goodwill.
But to its credit, but you never bash your company though. You've always said.
I try not to, only because like a lot of people do bash my company.
Yeah, but you haven't. So I'm just saying.
But I haven't, because I've actually seen the.
But I've just been worried because, and not dismissing your position, but I feel like people like me and Al, well, you know this, we make a lot more money than you, and I feel like where we work at, we're very selective in not mentioning where we work at, because I'm always reading articles about hey, someone on Twitter or someone on Facebook said a comment and they got fired from their fucking job, and as much as I get annoyed with my employer, I still need my employer. So.
Well, that's like when I was bringing up earlier, like the things about like the bus company and whatever. Like, I'm not naming the name of the company in which you work for.
Yeah. So I just say I work in transit. So, but what Al was saying to me and said I've been very selective in how I want to say this is that this has become an issue, not just in New York State, but like a lot of states across, just companies in general. Because he was mentioning that like through various people and rumors and just whatever the case may be, there's definitely a stigma, not for where we currently work, but any company I've had in the past, whether I worked for Arby's or worked fucking for Goodwill or worked for like say post office, that I get as a blue collar fucking person, the three of us are, and I wish Salena was here right now, but we all fucking work, we all freaking bust our ass. A lot of companies now, and it could be currently, I'm not sure if it's always been this way, but I have a very strong stigma in talking to coworkers like Al and other guys, we'll say Bob or something, or Mike or whatever, different people in our companies. I've always said this, and I'll say this to the day I die, that like there's terms like say functioning alcoholic. What was a functioning alcoholic? It could be a person that say works 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. At 5:15, this man's coming home and he's drinking a fucking beer. Whether he drinks a beer or 24 fucking beers, as long as Monday morning he's back to work and he's sober, that's his business, his prerogative.
Yeah.
It was kind of like recently said, off kilter to Al, questioning like I guess myself and my work integrity and like how much I work hard. And I would always say, listen, guys, everybody, every single fucking human being on this planet, I don't give a shit whether you smoke cigarettes, you fucking drink a beer, smoke weed, do fucking lines of coke, or just watch fucking porn all damn day. Whatever the case may be.
I love the side eye over smoking cigarettes and watching porn.
I mean, well, yeah. But everybody, every single fucking person has a voice. We all fucking know it. Everybody, especially blue collar people, work long fucking hours. Al's been there. He's worked 16, 17 fucking hour days. This man's worked 85-hour weeks. I haven't shit. My thing will always be, if I work 6 days a week, we'll say I have every Sunday off. If Sunday I do whatever said, whether it's I smoke a fucking joint, I watch fucking goat porn, whatever fuck I do, as long as Monday morning I'm back to work doing my fucking job.
If you are watching goat porn,
I mean, it's legal, but
I am calling you a counselor.
I'm saying, no one got hurt, but so I said, I was actually telling Salena this yesterday.
Get the strike jacket.
I mentioned more of like, honey, like I pray to God no one ever checks my browser history, because I was actually Googling like, can you give your girlfriend oral sex when she's on her period? She's like, you sick fuck, and I'm like, I'm doing this for your benefit, like, but anyway.
I mean, technically you can if you like your mouth full of blood.
It's a mouthwash anyway, but plastic wrap, but saran wrap. So it's just like what Al was mentioned, like, sometimes people would use the term party animal or some of that fucking parties, or a lot of companies seem like they want to question their employees' integrity when they're not at fucking work. And my thing is, any fucking job I've worked at, employers seem to take average fucking employees for granted. They don't fucking really appreciate, like, hey guys, Chris, it's your day off. Want to come in? Sure, I'll come in my day off. Chris, you want to stay late? Sure, I'll stay late. Chris, you want to come in early? I'll come in early. Chris, you want to work your fucking break? I'll work my break. And it seems like you, me, Al, and anybody, instead of fucking appreciation, we just get a kind of like, hey, thank you, and here's an extra fucking paycheck. But like, we're not going to give you any extra vacation time or sick time or any kind of fucking recognition or praise, but just like, kind of a half-ass fucking thanks. So when it comes down to anybody's integrity, whether, I've said in the fucking past, I got suspended because I took CBD gummies, and I'm not going to fucking lie. Have I ever fucking smoked weed or taken an edible gummy in my lifetime? Of course I fucking have. I just had some Jack and Dr. Pepper. But the thing is, I've never fucking worked any job, whether it's driving a vehicle or working construction or just working anywhere fast food. I've never been to any of my fucking jobs either stoned or fucking drunk or on coke or anything. There's a time and fucking place for things. Yeah. And for any employer to sit there and question an employee's integrity or their work ethic because on their day off, they happen to fucking smoke a blunt or fucking drink a beer, I'm kind of like, guys, if you want to question my integrity, look at the hours I work and people like fucking me and Al and you versus you fucking pussies in HR who fucking wear suit and ties. You work fucking 2 days a week. While we're the ones out there dealing with the general public. We're the ones out there working 17-hour shifts. We're the ones that are missing our families on Thanksgiving and Christmas and fucking we're losing birthdays and shit. While you guys sit in a fucking suit and you work 10 hours a week and say, oh yeah, you guys are all fucking lazy. How dare you drink a fucking beer or smoke a joint or do whatever. And I'm like, well, what do you do?
Yeah.
And so my thing will always fucking be whatever any employee, any of us does when we're not on company fucking property, company time, what we do outside of our fucking job is essentially none of your fucking business.
Exactly.
If I come to work, if Al does, anybody I know, we come to work, we do our fucking job, perform our task, and we're great fucking employees. Don't sit there and shit on us because, God forbid, I had a Mike's Hard Lemonade or something, or I wanted to fucking share a fucking joint with my girlfriend or some shit. And it just bugged me. I hate terms like, oh, these guys, they do stuff, whatever, on their downtime. What do you care for? I came to fucking work Monday. I'm fucking stone sober, ready to fucking go to work. And I've worked a lot longer hours than you have, dude. And this happens all the goddamn time. When I was at Arby's years ago, I became a crew member, then a shift supervisor, then assistant manager. I could have become a store manager, but they get paid on salary. I hate salary.
Yeah.
As assistant manager, I put my fucking tie back behind there. I'm scrubbing the fucking broilers and stuff. I'm down there fucking cleaning grease traps. I'm making food. Oftentimes, and Al's definitely fucking seen this, we all have, certain people will go from a blue shirt to a gray shirt to a white shirt. And like, but now I'm wearing a white shirt. I can't do the grunt work anymore. And I'm like, go fuck yourself, dude. Because, and everybody, when I was at Arby's for the 6 years I was there, would tell the store manager and the district managers, hey, we love working with Chris. Why? Because Chris isn't scared because he's wearing a white shirt. Because I did have to wear a white shirt and a fucking tie. I will drop fries. I will fucking clean dishes. Just because you wear a blue polo shirt and I wear a white shirt with a fucking tie, you make $6 an hour, I make $8.50 an hour. I'm not fucking better than you, and I still remember what it's like to be slinging sandwiches. I'm not no fucking higher up. How many fucking people, like last week I was a entry level employee. Now because of some whatever fucking reason, now I'm a supervisor. Now I'm a supervisor. I don't have to do the grunt work anymore. And I'm like, okay, dude, but you were just you were my equal a week ago. And stop with the fucking you're better than me bullshit because you're not. And just like, I've seen this recently, and I'll be careful my wording, where most drivers, and whether it's truck drivers or DHL drivers, all of us at some point have to wear headphones, listen to podcasts, put radio on. And how many fucking companies would say, well, for safety reasons, you can't wear fucking earbuds, even though every employee wears fucking earbuds and shit. Then some people become management and they start busting guys' balls for earbuds and like, yo, Joe, last week when you were a driver, you're wearing earbuds. When I'm a manager, but you wore earbuds a week ago, dude. So why are you busting my balls for wearing earbuds when you were wearing fucking earbuds a week ago? I can't fucking stand that entitlement, that bullshit where like now I'm your superior. I'm like, no, you're not, man. The only thing that changed in the past week is the color of your shirt. Mm-hmm. You're not no fucking better than me, bro. And so said, it's just some of the wording that was said to fucking Al, and I'm like, man, and you wonder why, Jesus, it's like, I'll pull up a news article. We first did August, now in September of 2021. 4.5 million people in September quit their fucking jobs. Mm-hmm. And I have a fucking weird kind of thing with OnlyFans and Twitch and shit like that and these kind of websites, Instagram models. But you wonder fucking why people do this shit for. Because how many fucking times has me and Al, fucking sweat on our fucking brow, calluses on our hands, blisters on our fucking feet. We're standing up for 16, 17 fucking hours in a row. And God forbid I get off work and I have a fucking beer. Now I'm an asshole for having a fucking beer.
Yeah.
fuck, man. Like, and it's just it's blue collar people. We're the ones that are keeping your companies going, because management, it's almost like the whole government thing where it's like, guess what, management, if all of us, and many companies have these anti fucking strike things and stuff, but like, you tend to forget, fuckers, if all of us tomorrow, half of us call out sick, boy, your company's fucked.
The thing that's even weirder about it is you gotta understand that when you work, it's like you say, the only thing that changes is the color of shirts.
Yeah.
Imagine working with a person and watching that person do bullshit daily, and then watching them get promoted, and all of a sudden, they start acting like, well, you guys can't do this. This is wrong.
Oh yeah, no.
The company, like that. That shit drives me crazy.
I have seen that happen so many times working for my company. And Chris can attest to this as someone who used to work there, like watching certain people, like they'd get away with murder when they're a freaking cashier. They get promoted to being a manager. They're still getting away with murder due to the fact of whatever the reason, because they're favorited by the freaking manager, because the manager's looking at them and they're like, oh, they work so hard. It's like, yeah, but you don't see like the 500 other things that they're doing wrong. And now they're getting on the freaking cashiers about all the shit that they're doing wrong, but they're doing the exact same thing they were doing.
Yeah.
And I'm actually going through it right now, I basically got my own location as a manager of this donation center. Not gonna complain about it. Like, Chris has been there, like, great freaking, like, whatever, but I'm having a hard time getting, like, equipment for it, because it used to be a house. So I can only get one form of equipment through my front door. Most of the stores aren't using that equipment anymore, so it's very difficult to get that equipment half the time. And the manager, not going to name her name, she works in the store that supplies us. She is god-awful when it comes to supplying any of the stores with equipment half the time, because she swears up and down that her store is the only one that needs it. And she doesn't even use this equipment. She has to, like, call it in to get it to her location. And the last time she got it, no lie, the truck driver told me, he's like, I stole, like, 5 of those bins to bring to you. And I figured, like, all of them were supposed to eventually come here. He's like, I went there today to pick them up for you. And she looked at me and she's like, those weren't for her. And he's like, no other store is using that equipment. He's like, so yeah, that was supposed to be for her. And she's been asking you for 2 months now if she can get that equipment. So I'm dealing with that. I'm dealing with, Chris knows this, every time I turn around, I keep getting called to go to the home store that I supply the stuff to. Because there's so many issues with that store. One, they never open up their donation door. They are extremely short on staff, because no one wants to work for this company. Apparently, no one wants to work for this company.
No one wants to work in general.
That as well.
Yeah, he's right.
That as well. But they specifically don't want to work for this company half the time.
I'll say, Sue, real quick. I just had this conversation with her yesterday before work. I said, listen, honey, we made the joke about, like, even on a podcast, would you guys make OnlyFans? I'm like, listen, I would blur myself out because nobody wants to see me fucking naked. She goes, I do. I'm like, because you're insane. But people want to see you naked. I said, but I do joke about this thing, and I think a lot of them are kind of over entitled fucking assholes. But I also understand from a financial standpoint, she's worked 5 days this week. Her feet are fucking hurting, her back's killing her. I was like, damn, honey, doesn't it just at some point now she's back in the workforce after taking so much time off? She's, damn, Chris, I worked 5 days this week. And I'm like, yeah. And some chicks OnlyFans, after your 45-hour week, they made in an hour what it took you to make in 45 hours. So I don't always fucking
agree with it, but
I can't blame people for doing it.
Yeah. Because you don't want to support these people because they are, like, the bane of the existence of humanity.
I just say it's like...
But at the same point in time, like...
It's like, show some appreciation, though. It's just like, don't act... That's
what I'm saying.
There's so much entitlement. Like, I work hard. No, you spread your pussy lips, okay? You're not working hard. Like, I would know this. Like, I laughed. I was like, honey, trust me when I say... Nobody wants to see me. However, my integrity does come at a price. And some guy was like, Chris, right now, I'll give you 10 grand to fucking spread your ass cheeks. Watch how fast my pants fucking drop. My butt cheeks are fucking spread for 10 grand. Oh shit. For $5, fuck you, dude. Like, Chris, here's $10,000. I want to see you just lay back and like, have you seen my checking account right now for 10 grand? Watch what I'll fucking do for 10 grand.
I mean, to go back to one of our earlier podcasts, Elliot with the freaking like cookies that freaking Karen made. He's like, we'll just pay people to watch Susan. We'll have people pay us to watch Susan eat these cookies. I'll be her manager. Fucking asshole. I miss him.
It's a genius marketing plan. Marketing plan is flawless.
Like, Al's entire paycheck would just go to us if that were the case.
Facts.
Well, yeah, it's hard with the market because it's been so oversaturated with that. That's what's the thing is. It would have been smart 5 years ago. Now it's hard in 2021 because now we're hitting that point. Now where it's like they're gonna start making fucking porn with the cameras just showed up inside of a girl's asshole, and you want to see that now because it's what more like what left is there to do? Like
this is, and you know what's weird? Like I shit you not. No matter how weird the thing you do, people will watch it. Like that's just what's gonna happen.
That's the scary part.
It's scary. It is, but it's a fact. Like if you put it on film, people will fucking watch it.
It's like freaking what the hell was the baseball movie?
Which one?
If you play it, they will come.
Field of Dreams.
Yes.
Yeah. If you build it,
they will come.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not sure what topics. Because like I was mentioning with topics, I still have to.
Basically, what is it?
I'm checking Twitter. Because the past month I've been saving stuff, different news articles. I actually wanted to ask Alan Susan this because this has been a topic on my mind.
If you drop your pants, they will come.
Yeah, I know I've been in jail. So I've asked this topic a lot of times, but I'd be careful again how I word this because not even just YouTube, just in general, I'm going to hell for asking these kind of questions. But I just want to see what Alan's got to say. I see these news articles. I laugh about this, but but this okay. If you and I want to discuss the topic for a while, I've had 3 drinks. I'm feeling pretty good, but let me know. But it says Colorado man, he's accused of having sex with a horse, and he escapes from jail. Now, I'm curious though. I really am. Like, look, I'm not into bestiality, but like, why do we have laws against this for?
Because
I'm just curious.
Okay.
I mean, it's like
a little bit of a history lesson here.
They say animal cruelty, right? It's like if a woman gives a horse a blowjob, is the horse suffering? I'm just saying. Like, I got to know this.
Here's the thing:
the horse can't consent, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what.
There's that. On top of two, it's not even just the fact of like bestiality being like like animal abuse. Okay, take a horse for example. Like, I'm not sure how much you remember from like history class or Al, you yourself.
Ask Al,
world history in general.
Nay.
So in Russia,
God,
in Russia, have you heard of like the different like czars, tsarinas?
Yeah.
Like there was
Yeah.
Alexander the Great, Catherine the Great, of course the Romanov family, like different things along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure it was Catherine the Great, who, when she was the Tsarina of Mother Russia, she had made the statement there was no man who could please her sexually.
Jesus.
In this world.
She didn't meet Al.
Al Slinging Dick Johnson.
The challenge accepted.
This basic queen of Russia made the statement that there was no man in this world who could please her sexually.
Mm-hmm.
So she had a horse strung up in her bedroom.
Damn.
To do the deed. Now, a woman's opening is not that big.
I've seen a few.
It's not that big. A horse's genitals.
I've seen those.
Dear Lord, terrifying. Like, there is a reason, like,
Yeah.
If you see...
She broke it.
If you see, like, certain things, they will make, like, comments saying,
It's
like...
right there, as well. She was knocking over the mic, standing there. That horse dick's got you flustered. Like, Jesus.
Shut the fuck up, Chris. There we go.
Giving poor Al ideas. Like,
it wasn't screwed in.
giggity.
Fucking asshole. Oh, it's also too far down.
Yeah. Well, there was one news article I seen that years ago, like where the guy got fucked by the horse and it killed him. I mean,
well, yeah, because
a horse dick doesn't belong in your asshole, dude. Like, fuck.
A horse's dick is huge.
Like 2 feet of fucking.
And like, sadly, I've seen this on freaking like Pornhub and like different ones.
Sick bastard.
There are freaking assholes out there who have made like animated videos of freaking like women getting like fucked by horse penises.
Yeah.
And it's like, that is disgusting. That is terrifying. And ow.
Well, so do you agree with Al that like, so the reason that it's such a taboo and illegal thing is because the animal can't give consent?
I don't know if that is the reason. I'll be honest. I have no knowledge about it at all. I just assumed that because the animals can't consent, that's part of the problem. But honestly, it's the fact that it had to be made illegal means that at some point in time, there were guys out there losing their fucking mind. Like, oh my, it's a herd of horses, guys. It's party time tonight. Like, you know, it had to be some kind of crazy thing. Like, imagine you're like a farmer in like the fucking 1800s and you're raising horse, and then you come into your stable where there's like 9 guys in there fucking your horses. Like, at some point you got to be like, all right, guys, enough's enough. Like, let's knock it off.
Not even just that, but like, okay, there are hybrid animals out there in this world that, like the liger, freaking mules, is it like burros or whatever, like hybrids of freaking like donkeys and freaking like horses and shit. It's like
don't naturally occur.
Yeah,
they don't naturally occur. They are sterile creatures. Like,
it's like the
if
Minotaur.
a human is like fucking an animal of like somehow, some way, some little like deformed creature is going to be coming out of either a freaking animal vagina or a human vagina.
A cat vagina.
Like, yeah. It's
terrifying. I think the reason that these guys don't worry about that, like, this is my fear of animal sex would be that it's going to lead to some kind of disease that we didn't foresee.
That is
like some guy sneaks into a barn somewhere, has sex with a cow, comes away with some crazy disease. He has sex with a girl. She's unaware that she's contracted some shit because he's a weirdo. Yeah. She's, sleeps with somebody else, and now, we got a full-blown thing that we never knew. Like, that's my fear.
Yeah.
Well, like, that's...
Well, that was like South Park. In South Park, he showed them guys fucking a bat. Yeah. That's how it's where COVID came from.
Well, that was the thing, though, too. To finish the Catherine the Great thing, she wound up dying because she could not take this freaking horse.
Makes sense.
To begin with. And it's like... Okay, well, how many other people are going to be that stupid where they're going to try and fuck a horse?
Well, definitely it's more of a male thing because men are disgusting.
Men are fucking animals.
Men are
I'm okay
openly disgusting.
Really
Women are more like closeted disgusting.
Yeah, which is the way we like it.
Yeah. He's not wrong. So, whenever I see a news article about a guy, he escaped jail because he got arrested for I don't know. I didn't deal with that my time in prison. Hey Bob, Chris, what's Bob here for? Bob fucked the horse. I'm like, it's like, I wouldn't be, I'm not sure, like, I wouldn't be mad. I don't know.
I shouldn't laugh about it, but at the same point, it's so stupid. Like,
I'm just saying, like,
I'm going to be honest with you, like that. I assume that most people don't talk about that particular type of urge.
Yeah.
Because the average person isn't going to be understanding. Like, if anybody I knew ever told me that they had sex with an animal or wanted to, the amount of harassment that you get from me, like, I would never let you forget that you said that to me. Like, I would constantly fuck with you about it. So it's like, I guess
because it's creepy.
It's weird. Like, it's I guess to the guys that like it, they probably got their own little weird secret community where they talk about it. Like, last night this sheep. Let me tell you about this sheep. Like,
or Chris with the
goat. So I imagine that they got their own little secret weird community, and they tell stories amongst themselves. But they can't just be open with that.
The podcast is open for like honesty and stuff. And now there's things I'm never going to tell Al about my past.
Please keep it a secret, please.
This is why we don't have Mark down here.
Oh, God.
Oh my god.
Poor Mark. Yeah. I'm fascinated because there's definitely something like in joking aside, there's something broken inside you. I'm not sure what it is, but there's definitely something broken because I just had sex with my girlfriend a couple of days ago. There's never any indication where like I have a couple fucking, a couple Jack and Cokes. And like, what, that sheep? He looks fucking delicious.
The thing is this, right?
He may look delicious, but not in that sense.
Oh, yeah, it's just true.
To every man, right? And I'm talking about just heterosexual men that are attracted to women that's ever had sex with a woman. Like, you understand the joys of a vagina. Like, you understand what, like, that first time that you slide it. Like, you understand how wonderful. Like, what would make you say to yourself, human woman, I could do better. Yeah. And then go off to a barn somewhere and try to mount yourself a goddamn animal. Like, what is wrong with you?
Same thing too. Where a woman's concerned though too. Like, okay, you felt a penis inside you. Like, you obviously know like what your limits are when it comes to like the human penis. What makes you think, okay, well, I took this guy who was 12 inches. Let me try this horse dick.
Yeah, there's something broken inside.
Some women are. That's the fascination for some women. Some women are like, the bigger it is,
it's
the more
terrifying.
fun. You know what's weird about that is, like, a lot of women I know, right, have like this fantasy about the dude with the ginormous dick. Like, he's got 13 inches of dick with a 5-inch around circumference. Like, this is a weird fetish that a lot of women have. However, these same women, if you ever have sex with them, you realize, like, not all women, just like how all men aren't built the same, all women aren't built the same. Some women can take a 12-inch dick, some women cannot. Right? That is a fact. So it's like, the weird thing is, like, every girl, like, not every girl, but a lot of women are like, I want to date this dude with this massive dick. And then you sleep with him and it's like, I'm 3 inches in and you're like, done. Like, this is it. Like we're at the limit.
Not to mention,
knock it off.
I mean, I've known some like various fucking females and stuff. Obviously a woman who's like, say like, what's her name? Brienne Tarth from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Her physical fucking shape versus, say, a girl who's 4'11".
Yeah.
If a girl's 4'11", she weighs 96 fucking pounds. There is no physical way. If you put his dick inside you, it's gonna hit your throat. Okay, like
you would think that.
Say that.
You would think that, but I'm here to tell you.
Okay, have you ever seen Piper Perry?
Hold on. Wait. What's I was gonna say?
For a fact, right? The height of a girl, how tall she is, how much she weighs, is irrelevant on what she can accommodate. Right? It is. I mean, it is. It'll blow your mind that
not to cut you off. Okay, you've watched Pornhub.
Yeah, of
You've
course.
watched X videos. You've watched stuff like that.
Yep.
Have you ever seen like the little blonde girl, Piper Perry?
No, I don't know that name. So.
Okay, so Piper Perry, she's like this, like she's probably like shorter than I am. She's like
I'm about to Google her right
like
now.
4'10" to like 5 feet tall.
Okay.
Like, and she's tiny. She's skinny.
I'll look her up later.
As all hell. Like, she is one of those girls. Al would not have fun with her because all he'd be hitting is freaking bone.
Yeah.
And shit. But her, like, thing of choice that she usually does when she's doing porn is guys with dicks yay freaking big.
Piper Perry, pornographic film actor.
Oh, God.
And it's like, there's always something about, like, her being, like, smashed by, like, huge black guys with, like, enormous dicks or, like, big-ass white dudes with, like, enormous dicks. You've seen her before, right?
Yeah. This girl is I haven't seen her before, but on TikTok, there's a bunch of people that do the videos of, like, the tiny white girl surrounded by a bunch of guys.
Oh, God, yeah.
This is her thing. Like, she's the reason for it.
Yeah.
Jesus.
She's the reason for it. She is tiny, though. She is fucking tiny.
She's tiny as all hell. And, like, even, like, when she's doing, like, her lesbian porn, like, she's usually the smaller girl.
Yeah.
And, like, it's some big, butch-ass-looking chick who's, like, doing whatever to her.
Well, no, he makes a good point. I mean, I've just, like,
So you can't go by, like, the girl's height.
Based on her height or her body weight, or you can't. That doesn't mean anything. Because a girl could be tiny and could be able to accommodate like 47 inches.
Because a woman could be like 6 feet tall does not mean she's taking a 12 inch.
Exactly. She could be 6 feet tall and could only handle 4 inches. Like,
it's part of the podcast. Like, Chris learns more about the female anatomy. Like,
did you listen to the episode where Chris did not believe that all animals have a freaking vagina?
Shut the fuck up. Okay.
Here's the thing.
Like freaking Salena, like,
I didn't know.
No, Salena messaged me one day and she's like, can we just laugh over the fact that Chris, like, believed that only human beings have vaginas?
I don't even believe that's a thing. Did that really happen?
That really happened. Like they were
Chris, say
having.
that did.
Listen. I've petted my cat plenty of times. My cat's let me. I've never seen my cat's vagina.
People believe that cats
I thought
have
they
babies out of their ass.
I thought they came out the same canal. Okay, like I don't know.
Stop it. We're not having this conversation.
Exactly.
I'm not even gonna do this.
Because I told my girlfriend. My girlfriend looked at me with such horror in her face, like I'm in love with you, and I'm like, I'm sorry.
Dude, if I had found this out under any other circumstance, that would have been the end of our nights. I was like, Chris, I'm going home. I'm done.
No, like she literally said this to me, and it took me by surprise because I'm like, you have a child. Like you created another human being.
It is on the episode of the podcast.
Like,
It says,
how the fuck did that happen?
I did put in the description YouTube. It's like Chris talks about cat vaginas. And I'm like, I didn't know.
And like we were sitting there, and she's like, yeah, he thought they pooped the freaking baby out. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I mean, obviously, it's like like kangaroos and marsupials. They have a fucking pouch, But like, I've never seen a cat vagina. Like, It's like Dad said. Dad's like, you ever see a baby pigeon? I never seen one. I know they exist, but I never seen a baby pigeon. But I don't know.
I have. I've seen baby pigeons.
I've never seen baby pigeon.
So that's because pigeons had like babies outside like the window of the kitchen to the apartment.
That's why sometimes my girlfriend looks at me. She's like, I love you, not for your. Anyway. That was a fun conversation.
Man.
So
that is funny.
That honestly, like, that took me by such surprise, and then like. Yeah. One day, like, she messaged me and she's like, can we just laugh over the fact that Chris, like,
thanks, honey,
didn't believe that animals had a vagina? And I started dying.
I knew some animals
yes,
did.
Please, let's just laugh over how stupid he is for 5 seconds. And she's like, you gotta love him. And I'm like, okay, you do.
Yeah. Well, I did tell her, like, we mentioned, like, have you watched all of Sex in the City?
No, I have not.
Oh, well, I'll say at some point we have HBO Max. I'm like, Sex in the City, I joked about this back
you're paying for HBO Max?
No, I'm saying with your HBO Max.
Oh, okay.
I was talking about, I was telling her back in the 90s.
Wait, did you create your own account on there?
Yeah.
Okay. Because someone keeps watching stuff on HBO Max and on my Peacock account. And, like, I'm pretty sure it's your mom, and I keep telling her, create your own account.
Yeah. So, like, what I was saying is, like, back in the 90s, me and my sister Jamie watched Sex in the City, and, like, it became this kind of taboo thing where, like, and I was talking to Salena about this, this is my current kind of issue with trending and stuff in Hollywood, that Sex in the City is obviously for women. It's targeted for females. I would say, and it became kind of taboo, like, any guy watched Sex in the City, it was mostly gay guys and stuff. If you actually watch Sex in the City, this show is fucking hilarious. It's actually a fucking, even though it's marketed towards women, it's marketed towards females. Guys can watch this show and you will actually have a good time.
Oh yeah, but and like
it's actually a good show.
It's like that with a lot of freaking shows though, where it's like, the target audience should be male or the target audience should be female.
What's like obviously fucking Fresh Prince. You and me weren't the target audience for Fresh Prince.
No, we weren't, but we loved it.
I watched the entire series fucking 4 times. So
were we the target audience for Family Matters?
Yeah.
You guys were the target audience for Fresh Prince.
Really? Oh, you fucker. you bastard. I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm saying, but I mean, I never watched the show because everyone looked like me. I'm just saying, like, because I loved Uncle Phil, man. Aunt Vivian and shit, and Carlton, like.
Uncle Phil.
Well, I'm just saying, like,
man.
But there was an episode in Sex and the City where Samantha, which is Kim Cattrall, she's like the slut of the group, and her sexual escapades during the show is fucking hilarious. But there's one episode where she met a guy, he was too big. Like, he was so fucking big, she couldn't have sex with him. And back then, of course, I was like 17, 18, I'm like, bullshit, no guy's ever too big for a female. And over time, talking to different fuck females. And
you've never been too big for a female.
Exactly. So, and that's what Salena would say. But Salena even told me, she's like, Chris, like, you're, for me, you're a great fucking size. And I'm like, well, I've had females where, like, I'm way too fucking small. And she's like, well, I would say, it depends on the female.
It does.
And I never, but again, being a fucking teenage boy, I thought that, like, watching so many fucking porn, because I grew up on fucking porn in the 90s. Internet was a big thing back then. I just was always under the assumption that guys who had fucking 12, 13, 14-inch dicks were just like the norm and what women wanted. But talking to more women in my 20s and 30s, a lot of girls would say no. For a lot of us, 10 inches is way too fucking big. We can't handle all that shit, so.
Not to mention that there's a lot of guys out there that are frustrated with women it's frustrating when a girl acts like they're capable of all types of shit. and then you find out that you have to be extra gentle because all the shit she was talking was just shit she was talking. Like, you know, it's sometimes that shit is frustrating.
I don't know, like, see, I don't want to go into my sex life. I feel like I've
you can't for
that,
Al.
like,
dive in.
Way
Let's jump in.
I'm drunk enough that I'm gonna forget this part.
Let's jump into this conversation.
You definitely will be.
You can help Al out.
Chris will re-listen to this and he'll be like, "Damn it, I need a drink again."
Before you get into that, that's what I was saying earlier because we didn't finish that. I was telling Al about, and Salena said, "Listen to Ralph Garman," because I listened to Ralph's podcast, and Ralph was doing the article I was doing about the whole fucking kid and USB thing. So like I said, when Al and Lewis were here, I was talking about the whole USB thing. It didn't really hit with me because Al and Lewis were listening to it. I'm reading it. Now I'm listening to Ralph. When Ralph was breaking apart the whole kid sticking USB cable down his dick, I'm like, now I'm listening to it as someone else is saying it. And I'm like, this is hurting me listening to it. Like,
I sat here, I was like, I can't sit through this. Like, this thing is like, I literally felt my stomach start to knot up. I was like,
I literally just felt that as he's saying like USB cord up his like fucking dick. And it's like, I don't even have a dick. Like, why is this affecting me?
There was surgery involved too.
Yeah. I was like, I can't
poor
do it.
Guy.
Okay.
So,
well, I can't even say that poor guy. Like, he was an idiot and he stuck a freaking USB cord up
I'm not
going to
disagree with Al because Al, I told and Selena busted laughing. Al's solution was like, listen, this is the point where if I'm a surgeon, the kid didn't make it. It's like, I'm sorry, but
it's like, how bad is humanity when something like that shit happens?
And Sue, you know my son, you love him to death, and I told this to Al.
Oh my God, if Christian ever like came out of his room and was like,
after sitting down with that episode,
Susan, where's my dad?
I just sit there. I got in the car before we got home. I was Christian. I turned the car off. I have to have a talk with you, father to son.
Yeah,
and he's laughing his ass off as a 14-year-old. I'm like, when you were born and as a baby walking around and shitting yourself, there's certain conversations as your dad.
Yourself.
Yeah, I never thought I'd have certain conversations with my kid. Like, hey, buddy, so I read an article.
Don't eat a Tide Pod. Like,
don't stick
things that you never thought you'd have to say.
Put a fucking USB cord up your freaking lip.
I told him telling this to Al, and he's just laughing so fucking hard. And I'm like, it's, oh Christ.
I want to put this warning out there for Christian. We love you, buddy. We think you're amazing. But however, I have seen the movie.
That talk with your nephew.
I've seen a movie called Mrs.
He's upstairs
Doubtfire.
Right now. I'd be like, Wyatt, never do this.
And there was a scene in the movie where Robin Williams, dressed as Mrs. Doubtfire, chucked the orange into the back of the head of what's his face. And when he turned around, she was like, "Oh, it was a run by Fruity." Well, let me let you know, there's a run by Fruity in your future if I ever hear about you.
Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I saw what that man did. It was a run by Fruity.
My son.
I need to go upstairs and watch that.
My son just fucked with me. We're getting our shots. I was like, "Hey, Christian's talking about Big Al." He's like, "Dad." He's like, "Big Al is one day." He's like, "Big Al's gonna eat a walrus, isn't he?" I'm like, "Yes, he is."
I promise you, it's going to happen. Yeah. A walrus, a hippo, and a whale.
Al makes my fucking son laugh so fucking hard. He's like, Dad, I love Al. He doesn't see him that often, but like, I want to see him more. And like, whenever I've had a podcast on and Christian listens, Al has him fucking laughing so hard. He's like, what kind of person wants to eat a walrus, Dad?
The kind that knows that walruses are delicious.
So, back to like some of our earlier podcasts, as I'm sitting there and I'm listening to like all this different shit, like one thing that always like stuck out to me was like, okay, like when we were talking about like my sexual escapades.
I don't want to hear this one.
And stuff. And like when you would do the whole Junior, you have anything you want to say to Susan? And it's like, you so instigated everything.
Oh, yes, I know. I had so much fun with that.
You instigated everything. And, like, by the time we got to, like, the one podcast when Carlton first came down, and I, like, you're like, you know, you had all this ammunition, like, built up against Junior and so on. It's like, okay, I am funnier when it's, like, it just slips out.
I mean, giggity.
Fuck you. But I'm funnier when it's like the little like jabs come out rather than like the full on like you know, this is like what I've written down type of shit.
Yeah.
Like I can't write it down. It has to come off the top of my head.
It's better when it's natural.
Yeah. Like it has to be like in that moment like, Okay, like, we could talk about Junior's, like, receding hairline all day. We could talk about, like, the fact that Molly's not a real human being all day.
No,
because, she never came back.
Actually, Al, I mentioned, I wrote Molly a couple months ago. She said she's just working 2 jobs. She's just, 7 days a week. I said, Molly, you're more than welcome to come back down here whenever you want to, so.
But that's the thing. Like, she never came back, so there's still no confirmation on if she's a real human being.
I wrote on Facebook, she's real.
We can talk about...
If my girlfriend here is just Molly is just ugly and horrible, I hate her, honey. Like she.
Or like, we could talk about the fact that Junior quit the podcast so that he could go and make like a bullshit freaking YouTube channel that's like doing nothing.
He's up to his whole 20 subscribers. I love him. I don't care.
We can't.
No.
Like.
I told him.
And this is all in jest because like we do love Junior.
Facts.
Like, Al, he is still your son, right?
No, I was talking to him last night. Like, I was like, we were playing Xbox. We were playing actually the new Halo Infinite beta. I said, Junior, again, just I'm not gonna like Al said. I'm to the point now where if you're busy, it's fine. But like anybody, I'm not gonna keep asking every single week. If you want to come, you want to come. Awesome. If you don't, you don't. But and that's the way I get it. If you're busy or Jen's busy or somebody, but anybody is more than welcome to come down, but I'm just not going to keep asking over and over and over and over and over again. Like,
But, like, that's the thing. Like, obviously, like, half the time when you're doing the podcast, like, I'm either, like, dead tired from freaking work and shit, and, like, you may not think I do much at my freaking job, but, like...
I mean...
But, all things considered, like, it is, like, somewhat demanding, like, when you're, like, having to deal with, like, the public.
But again, but there's me busting your balls, me being serious, though.
Exactly. And, like, then you have to take into consideration, like, Jen, she has her job on top of she hosts the karaoke.
Yeah, Jen said she wanted to have Chris down here. I said, Jen, you can come down with you and Chris, but Big Al's here, because Jen's like, hey, I miss Al. I'm like, I like this. Everyone misses Al so much. I'm like, well, fucking come down when he's here then. Like, you
Al can come to things with us. Like, my birthday passed, there was no Al.
Oh, yeah. But
I was not invited.
But remember,
Sue, let's be honest. If I was invited to anything involving you I'd be there.
But to his credit, though, but he
didn't go to my 30th birthday party either, and I could have sworn I invited all of you assholes.
But he is working a lot of overtime, though. So it's like, I mean, that's the thing. I don't want, plus he has, on top of overtime, he's got, Al, same thing as you. Al's got like 19 nieces and nephews. He has he's got family. Listen, this is his story to tell sometimes, but like, last episode, he had a family emergency. Like, I was telling Lewis,
some things that happened.
Yeah, some things happened because Al's like, "Hey, Chris, I'm coming. I'm on the way here." He didn't get back to me. I told Lewis, I'm like, "Hey, listen, if Al didn't come, if he said he's coming here and he didn't come here, something happened, which something did." Yeah. So it's like that's it. Al is actually, for the most part, very busy. So it's like if he can't make it to something, I never take it as like an insult. He's busy. It happens.
Which I completely get because I'm up to like 13 nieces and nephews. Freaking like 4 natural great nieces and nephews, but 5 natural nieces. No, wait, wrong. 4, but 10 overall.
Yeah.
And like, I have 5 siblings. 4 siblings, 4 sibling cousins, 2 nephew cousins, and like all that other bullshit.
The expanse.
The expanse of the family. It's like I literally, like, I was thinking about that one day. I'm like, if I took all 8 of them and I, like, just, like, did the divide, I technically have 4 sisters and 4 brothers. Even though I have 3 brothers and 1 sister and 3 sister cousins and 1 brother cousin.
Shit. Yeah.
And, like, even for Kaya's birthday, on her card, like, on the front of it, I put, to my favorite sister cousin.
Yeah.
And she started dying.
Well, I said before, if Rob wants to come down, but I said Al, Al has different friends and family that, sometimes can make an appearance, but I said everybody is anytime more than welcome. Everyone has, the fucking whole, like, mi casa, su casa thing. Come down, have fun and stuff. Everyone has, now we're all back to work and COVID hits some people differently, but we're all working a lot of crazy ass hours. So
I think, wait, did you go last Wednesday to karaoke? I forget.
Yeah. I've been every time.
Okay, so this past freaking Wednesday at karaoke, Al, you'll get a kick out of this. So Jen has like her different forms of drunkenness. You know this.
Yeah, she does.
So this last week at karaoke, me, this guy Greg, we met at karaoke. We become really good friends with him.
I'm gonna go pee.
And so on. And something that was funny is because now Greg doesn't smoke, but he'll step outside the bar to get like fresh air and stuff. Jen steps out to have a cigarette. Me and Robert, my brother, we're outside having a cigarette. And then some other chick comes out as like we're talking, whatever, and Jen was talking about like a duet that she was getting ready to do, but like she misspoke and said something about like a three-way thing. And this chick walked up and she's like, a threesome? What? And I'm like, we're not that kind of family. And whatever. And Jen, like, in her drunken state, of course, she puts her arm around me. She's like, this is my sister cousin, but we're not that kind of family. Puts her arm around my brother. She's like, this is my brother cousin. He is kind of cute, but we're not that kind of family. And my brother's just like, oh, God. And then, like, the more the night went on, Jen's getting drunker and drunker and drunker. And my brother starts laughing, and he's just like, you know, this is the side of Jen that's, like, the most hysterical. And I'm like, wait until she starts punching people. It will be as hysterical. But the next day, we're sitting there, and, like, when she showed up with everything for Nancy's birthday that she was bringing, which was, like, the food and, like, another cake and, like, her presents and stuff and Chris's present and whatever. We're sitting there and Robert's like, hey, Jen, do you remember telling that one chicken little? She's like, shut up! She's like, I don't even want to talk about it. He's like, you were telling us about, like, your drunkenness, how it goes from, you know, Jen to Henny to Samantha to Tabitha. And you're, like, sitting there and you're like, you remember Bewitched? Tabitha was the mother. And he's like, Tabitha was the daughter? She's like, yeah, whatever. It was
I don't
fun.
know. Jen sounds like she's fun when she's drunk.
Oh,
She is.
she is a riot.
So she starts fucking wanting to fight.
She is a freaking riot when she's drinking.
Yeah, Jen. Once Jen hits a point where she starts getting too drunk, she wants to start fighting. I mean, she won't fight Al, but yeah, just Jen wants to fight Mom.
She starts wanting to fight with your mom. She starts wanting to fight with, like,
Yeah, Jen's got some
Chris.
weight. Jen's got weight on her too, so she starts like, you know, she can handle her own.
But your mom will still like her.
Yeah. So I popped this on. I thought this was funny as hell because, like I said, I always say with Twitter and shit, when you read an article, sometimes the top comment has me laughing so hard. But like for Sue and Al, if this ever happens, what's your guys' predictions? Because it probably won't. But like the article said that a solar superstorm could prompt an internet apocalypse and global outages. The top comment said, it happened before. Back in 1921, a solar storm wiped out the internet traffic for 70 years. But for you guys, if the internet, because as not even just like social media, what do you guys think would happen if, like, say for instance, we lost internet for a week? What do you think would fucking go down? Like, just, you know.
Complete and utter chaos.
Listen, I'll say this. It's gonna hit the younger generation harder than the older generation.
I agree.
Because there's like a lot of us alive that remember when there wasn't the internet. Like,
Yeah,
we were alive and we thrived in that era. So it's like we just go back to that time. But
Okay.
See, I'd say mainly, like, you can say, like, the younger generation, but I'd say literally from, like, your age on down. It would, like, harm that generation more because of the fact that, like...
Okay, so it's on 40, Al's in his 40s, you're... How old are you again?
31.
Okay, cool. I was close. I thought 30, but so. But you think it's people? Do you think it's Susan 30 down or 20 down? Like what's your like?
Oh no, they would cause like mass chaos if
Well,
something like that would happen.
Well,
Not
but-
even because of social media and all that bullshit,
Yeah.
but like think most businesses, like
Well, that's
most
what I was gonna say. Yeah.
most businesses run on the internet.
Yeah.
Like they need the internet to find out like how much they're producing in sales. They need the internet to like make deposits.
Yeah.
They need the internet to like access their registers in
Yeah.
most stores.
true, that's
yeah.
true.
They
But
need like
here's the thing that you're 100% right. And
like
I'm not,
the world has become way especially like first world freaking like nations
my
have
gosh.
become so dependent on like the internet
but
that
it wouldn't take that much for them to go back to systems before the internet.
Yeah.
it wouldn't, but
Yeah.
there would be complete and utter chaos
I'm
because
just
they
saying.
wouldn't.
Maybe for a couple of days, but then when people realize that their livelihoods are on the line, they will adapt quickly as to not lose business, as to
Yeah.
not
Those
go
who
out of
don't
business.
die,
yeah. You're right because
that's the thing. How many people would kill other people? How many people would freaking like commit suicide because they couldn't even get on the internet? And not even, I'm not just talking like social media. in that sense. Like,
You know what's
how
scary?
many like bigger businesses who run specifically on that output?
What's scary is that you're not even wrong, because there was a time in the Great Depression there where people were losing all their shit and killing themselves over it. So it's like it's not even a far-fetched concept. People
And it's
will
like
there
would be people smart enough to say, okay, well now we have to like readapt to like the past.
Yeah.
But there will be, the literal thing is like more people will be killed from suicide than COVID.
Probably.
But there are a lot of people who will adapt immediately and take advantage of the situation.
Yeah.
Internet's down. This is a way I can make money. I'm moving forward. A lot of people will do that.
But how much would that percentage be? That's the thing.
I don't know. But I promise you, there are people that are millionaires that already plan for the contingency of the internet failing.
Yeah, millionaires, but how many millionaires? That's the thing. How there are more people in like this, like
the rest of us that aren't millionaires are just going to have to go with the flow. We're going to have to accept that. It's
but
gone.
how many of us would? That's
like I said,
the real question.
The gap in that question that you're asking is going to be the difference between the older generation and the younger generation.
Right,
A lot of the younger people that have only known the internet are going to be like, oh my God, life's over, I can't go on. And then there are some of us that are accustomed to the internet, but we existed before it.
Yeah.
So we'll
that's
understand
the thing.
that.
Like, where is that cutoff where there are people who are going to be
I would say honestly between ages, just for me, I would say between ages fucking up to 20. I think even at fucking 20, because it's 2021. At 2001, the internet still wasn't that big yet, and these kids may have grown up that, but I feel like they can still. It's definitely fucked the past. It's even the fucking past 10 years. So it's
but you figure
from
like
10 to 20.
Most of those people, like their first jobs, they're learning on a register that is primarily done through a computer.
Yeah. But cash. I'm saying the internet itself, though. It's like you're saying.
Most of their work is done through a computer. Like it's to the point where like even my generation.
That's why I'll say age 20. I'll say age 20 and down.
But that's the thing. Like that's why I'm saying like. How many people will start killing other people because they will be like that fucking asinine about it? How many people will commit suicide over it?
I definitely think, like, I would say, being kind of like, whatever you want to call this, I think it would kind of thin the herd. I'm sorry to say it.
The herd. And, like, honestly, we'd lose a lot of dumbasses.
Yeah, it really
but
is.
at the same point in time, like, you have to really think about that. Like, if there was no more internet after so many people have become accustomed to, like, just having it, like the touch of their freaking fingertips, how many people would like lose their damn minds?
We talked about this in the past, and I did this article because found off Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan would say like about the internet now, how different states now are legislating, like they're making like mandatory internet laws because some people are very much dependent on the internet,
and they are,
and that's a very scary thing though because there could be some kind of fucking power outage or something. So
and that's the thing. I've seen it multiple times at freaking Goodwill. How many times have the credit card machines gone down? And the customers freak out, the cashiers freak out, everything has to be called in.
Yeah.
And people are so freaking asinine, they're like, I'm not giving you my card information. You'll steal it. You'll wipe out my account. It's like, ma'am, I have no way of doing this. You can go to an ATM and pull the money out. I'm not doing that.
Definitely, overall, I think like 100% with, I think definitely the inner cities, like say like the fucking big ones, like New York City, Los Angeles, like Detroit or something, people that are 99% living off the internet, be through ATM machines and credit and stuff, debit, they'll be the ones that are first fucked. But definitely like the outer cities and stuff and like the fucking country and the rural areas, I think we'll be fine. So like I would say, I definitely agree that like it's like thinning the fucking herd, because, and it's why I told my son, like, I love my son. I was a Christian, and he knows how to play Pictionary or something. He knows how to play Monopoly. My son does use internet, but he's not dependent on it. And I agree with fucking Al. This thing is like, I'm accustomed to it. It makes life easier. But again, if my phone, if Facebook, if everything shuts down for a week, I'm not going to hang myself.
Exactly.
It's cool, no doubt. But I'm not going to.
That's the thing. You won't hang yourself. I won't hang myself because it's not worth it. Al, I'm sure you wouldn't do it because it's not worth it.
I'm like, Al, tonight we're doing Scrabble. Like,
but
coming over.
Bust out the Uno pack and just bust out a game of Uno.
Yeah. We used to do that when we get to school in the morning in high school, is we just like, someone would come in with like a pack of Uno cards, and they were X-Men Uno cards.
Yeah.
And we just sit there playing Uno all
I would
day.
say, like, even like Al was saying that, like, I'm sure a lot of companies are dependent on that, but a lot of these companies should have, or if they don't, they better fucking sometime adapt to this. You better have some kind of contingency plan, because if your entire company's run off the internet, if there's a fucking power outage for a week, you're fucked. So you better have some kind of a backup plan for this situation. So,
but that's the thing, like, a lot of them, and that's why I'm saying, and like, you can't even really put a number on it, because how many people, you can't really put an age group on it, not a number. Because though you guys can say, and I could say, like, you know, we'll be fine, we'll find other ways to entertain ourselves, there's still a lot of people out there who they've become so accustomed to using it that they won't know what the fuck to do.
I agree with you, but I don't think that number is as big as you think it is. Like,
it could be, it could not be. That's
the vast majority of us have accepted the internet. We rely on the internet. It's sort of like saying, what would happen if we ran out of gasoline and nobody was able to drive anymore? Cars have made life very convenient. Like, they've very convenient to our life. They've made life so much easier. But if we all lost the ability to drive tomorrow,
but Al,
it wouldn't it wouldn't stop us. It wouldn't, like, I don't feel the downfall of the internet would cause as crazy a reaction. I guarantee it will affect a lot of people. But people are
stupid.
I'm saying, I agree with you 100% that a lot of people will be affected, but I don't imagine that number is as great as, like, I don't imagine like half the population would die out. You know, I don't imagine that even a third of the population.
The population would die out, but I'm saying, like, there would
a few thousand people,
lot of people.
Yeah, a few thousand people will be like, oh my god,
stupid.
The internet is over, I gotta go.
I'm just to the point. It's hard. Like, a part of me would just not feel bad, because it's like, you should prepare yourself and prepare your kids, or prepare anybody that just don't fucking, like, live your life on the fucking internet. You know, but
I don't know.
The whole era of going outside and playing is over with, man. Kids nowadays don't want to do that shit anymore.
Yeah. So, well, like, on top of, like, you be at the fucking park and stuff, and you have a fucking Nintendo Switch Lite, and you're fucking jogging with the light in your hand, like, it's like, Jesus Christ.
But here's the thing, though, too, like, kids nowadays, like, going outside and playing, like, they would still do that if their parents didn't encourage them to do that.
That's why I say I encourage him. For the most part, I'm still lucky enough, but again, see, he's 14. If I ever have a kid right now, because it's like, Christian's still at the level where it's like, the internet and social media wasn't too bad. I do worry about, or wonder, whenever I have grandkids one day, or I decide to have a second kid, how much things will change even from a kid in 2021. But for the most part, I've been fucking lucky. Christian still likes going outside. He likes playing games. He doesn't want to spend his entire life in his fucking bedroom. But
that has a lot to do with, like, your influence on it. Like, how many of these kids
but remember,
but
even 5 years ago. But the thing is, Christian at going on 15, he wasn't raised on TikTok. Yeah, so it's, you know. It's like, TikTok for him is still kind of fucking new. It's not like, so versus like an 8-year-old said right now, even a 5-year-old right now in 2021 versus a 15-year-old, it's still different. And as more time has fucking passed, and more kids are getting reliant on this shit. And I don't like that. So, but, so I love articles like this. And we joked about this plenty of times, but I do really wonder, and I'll let Al and Susan, talk about this in a second, but at what point would, if there's ever a point, if Al where you would snap, but like, this is Chipotle customer threatens staff with a gun. Somebody better give me my food. So this is a moment a hangry Chipotle customer whips out a gun and shouts, Chipotle, yeah. Somebody give me my food. So they're about to close. So surveillance video was posted by police. Shows a woman threatening a cashier at the Chipotle in the Chipotle. In Roosevelt Mall in Philadelphia. I know I can't say it, but I'm just saying, Al, like, we joked about that. We've been there. I'm just reading through the comments. Like, she must not have eaten there before because it ain't worth it. But like, we've all had bad days. Al,
I could say this, and this is the honest to God truth.
At what point do you snap? Like,
listen, this is the honest to God truth. This is no exaggeration.
I'm gonna let Al take this one. I
promise you that I know what that feels like. It's a dumb thing to do when you think about all the repercussions that come from the action. But I've been there in that place where I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing in there? Like, what is happening? Why can't I have my food right now? I've been here for 20 minutes. This is supposed to be fast food. I need to get my shit and go. You guys are slowing me up. What is wrong? Right? So I know that feeling. I personally would never walk into any food establishment with a gun. That's stupid. That's just dumb. But But I know the feeling. I definitely know the feeling.
But do you think? I mean, I guess this is like just said. We're just playing with the stuff and what if. But like, do you think there's a situation where you just had like whatever, you got fired from your job today, your girlfriend broke up with you, your mom whatever just told you I disown you, and like your only solace is like I want some fucking Chipotle McDonald's and like
Chipotle.
Yeah, whatever, and they're close like. There's got to hit a point where like it builds up. It's like
Chipotle becomes the straw that broke the camel's back.
Exactly.
It's like your girlfriend dumped you, your job fired you, a cop just pulled you over, your mother just passed away, your kids being picked on in school. All you want to do is get some goddamn Chipotle and make it home, and then you get here and they do this bullshit with your food. Now you want to shoot the place up. Now you want to shoot the place up. Like
it's like how many other things happen in this guy's life before he pulled the gun?
Listen, I know you, me, and I know Al. I know Al's appetite. I could, out of all three of us, I could just see Al saying, "Chris, I couldn't take. I went to KFC, and them fuckers wouldn't give me my crispy chicken sandwich. I pulled out a gun.
This is my thing is I'm always quick to leave. Like if I order something, it's why I don't like to pay before I get my food. Like if you ask me for my card, my food better be in your hand, ready to be handed to me. Like I'm not gonna just pay you and fucking.
Yeah.
So
I've had that happen to me so many times at Wendy's, the one on Central.
Yeah.
Up there. How many times I've gone in there and I've seen people who go in there after me, ordered after me, and they've gotten their food before me.
Yep.
And it's pissed me off, but it's like it's not to the point where it's like it's that big a deal.
Yeah.
It's just okay. Well, you know what? You guys were fucking assholes. Reimburse me my fucking money.
Fact.
Because now my 30-minute break just turned into a 60-minute break.
Like I'll say, but if you had a fucking bad day where it's like, you know, all those, that was a straw that broke camel's back. If you had all these different underlying things happen, you know.
See, I still wouldn't do it though. It's like I'd still have like that frame of mind where it's like, okay,
be a bus driver.
Like my worst case scenario is always to get my shit and leave. Like I'm like, if you guys have taken too long, I'm at the point where I don't want the food anymore. I'll just grab my money and leave.
I'm gonna say I've been around Al enough where I know Al and his love for food, and just like about 3 or 4, just like Chris, I couldn't take.
You still love mayo chup.
I got a bottle of mayo chup in the fridge right now. What are you talking about?
Did you just say bitch?
Listen, I got a bottle of mayo chup ready to go. I can say, Susan,
now. Al may care about
ifs, ands, or buts.
Al may have a fondness for you, Susan, and I know this about him and stuff. There's certain lines you don't cross.
Oh yeah, I know Al has a fondness for me. He still wants to put 3 babies inside of me.
But the thing is, if you insult
4.
If you insult that man's mayo chup, there could be like there's lines.
I'm not insulting the mayo chup. I'm just asking if he still loves mayo chup as much as he used to.
He loves mayo chup. If he had kids, the mayo chup would come before his kids.
Like he would literally, how he would name his children, he will name them Michael, Angela, Yolanda, and Oliver, so that their names spell out mayo.
This is why certain friends are bad influence, because since this,
and then he'll have a 5th one and he'll name it Chup. So their names will literally be Mayo Chup.
I can't say this shit too. I love Al, but like he's a bad influence on me because I never heard of Mayo Chup until he told me. He tells me, Chris, try this shit. I tried it, and that week I gained 5 pounds, and I'm like, you fucking asshole, stay away from me.
Let me tell you what was crazy about me finding Mayo Chup. It's because my entire life, and this is no exaggeration, I would always mix mayo and ketchup together. I know people did it. Like I know a lot of people did it.
My mom used to do that all the time.
And then I walk into Walmart one day, and it's like
that's
mayo
where I first saw it too.
On the goddamn shit. Like what? I was like, I'm not the only person doing this. Somebody actually had the marketing genius plan to be like, let's put these things together.
It kind of makes you angry. Like, why did I do this 10 years ago?
Exactly.
You know, it's like, fuck, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was like,
but it's like, how many people will do that? Like,
even
they'll mix like mustard and mayonnaise, mayo must. They'll mix ranch and freaking ketchup. I first
met Salena. Selena's like, God damn you, Al. She's like, I'm a fucking vegan and I can't stop eating this shit. She's like,
it's not like there's meat in it. It's just mayo chup.
Yeah, I started putting mayo chup in my cereal. Like, I hate it myself.
Ew. Okay, I wouldn't have gone that far.
Like,
I was listening to the one podcast and Al made the statement. He's like, I had put the mayo chup inside soup. And we're like, okay, tomato soup. He's like, no, chicken noodle soup. And we're like, what the fuck?
Yo,
Yeah.
and it was good.
And that was a reaction to it too. You're like, it was amazing.
I'm one of the people where it's like people say like have a girlfriend, have a wife or something. They help you gain weight.
And have
like,
an owl.
No, have an owl. Okay. Like, every time you say Chris, like, you're not losing weight. I'm like, because he keeps fucking texting me this shit, and I'm like,
Because he's feeding me.
and when Al tells you,
When
Chris,
the hell are we
try
going back
this.
to the Chinese buffet?
Listen, whenever you want, let me know.
Jesus
Say the
Christ.
word. We're
Actually,
there.
quick on a side note before I tell her. All right, you keep texting me this thing. What it's oxtail, right?
Yeah.
No,
You
isn't
can get
that
that at the Chinese buffet.
isn't it actually is an actual ox's tail? You just bite into
Yeah.
it. Like,
Yes, it's cow's tail.
God
That's
damn it.
definitely
You
what
didn't
it
know
is.
that?
I told her I was because he keeps texting. I was like, I have to try oxtail now because it's like.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you
Ask
this right
your
now.
mom about it because your
I'm
mom,
gonna, yeah.
I think,
Oxtail is
likes it.
fucking delicious.
Yeah.
All right.
Or has tried it.
I've not ever met anybody who didn't like it. Even if you're vegan and you try oxtail, it's gonna be one of them things where you're like, I don't know if I could give up animals at this point.
I told my son it was 2 days ago. We go to fucking Walmart. We're coming out to fucking Walmart. I see the bag in her hand. What's that? She's like, oh, I'm just having some beef jerky. I was wait, what? She's like, I just want a piece.
She's only vegan.
She's
Here's the thing about Salena, and I can say this because
Oh.
she knows I love her.
Yeah.
I get pissed off at her when she does stupid shit. But here's the thing with Salena. Salena is vegan when she's happy. When she is happy, she's like, oh, little animals. No, they can't die.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I'm not going to do this. Blah, blah, blah. But the moment she's pissed off, it's like, where the fuck are the McChickens from freaking McDonald's?
Or-
these animals.
It's like,
Get in my mouth, you cow.
and Chris isn't substantial enough.
Yeah. Or again, to Chris, I just smoked my fucking third blunt. I'm like, huh? I want beef jerky so bad. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm saying, oh, wait, I thought
Listen,
you were
you know
vegan.
what? And this is it. In all fairness, when she's got the munchies,
Yeah.
you cannot hold it against her when she
You
wants
really can't.
animal. Like you can't.
Or when she's
the
pissed off.
munchies will definitely put you in a place where
Yeah.
things that like the munchies is
Yeah.
the equivalent of a pregnant woman craving something.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
it's the
that's the
same
thing,
thing.
like-
He's not wrong.
Like, Robert was saying that one time because I made the same, and I'm like, well, Selena's vegan. He's like, what the hell's wrong with her? And I'm like, she's only vegan when he's like, what the fuck's wrong with her?
Listen, this is the thing I like
Yeah.
about Salena. This is the thing that boosted Selena's stock. The fact that she isn't like vegan 1,000% of the time.
Exactly.
Like if she was
Yeah.
just one of those,
You know-
I'm vegan and vegans, then I'd
Yeah,
be like,
because so
I
many
can't.
vegans, like, when you are vegan, that's all you talk about.
exactly.
That is all you talk about. On top of two, you want to convert everyone else
Yeah.
into being a vegan. She has never tried to convert everyone into being vegan.
I mean, she made the joke like, you know, she'll make like vegan tacos, but overall, it's just like, she's like, hey, Chris, well, like it said, her mother made chili. Her mother dumped so much fucking beef into that chili. So, Chris, this just chili is so delicious. I'm like, yeah, like all that beef inside that chili, honey, like you're just biting into it.
Yeah.
You can taste the animal flesh. Like, yeah.
But, like, that's the thing. Like, you can be vegan to an extent, but eventually, like, Jen's tried multiple times. She's like, I want to try and go vegan because I really don't like what they do to the freaking animals. But at the same point in time, then Jen will go to freaking McDonald's and get, like, a 20-piece McNugget.
I told Chris,
And it's like, I thought you were vegan. Shut up.
we're going to movies to see.
I'm vegan, but these chicken nuggets are so good.
Yeah. I told Christian at the mall, he's laughing so hard as a Christian. Big Al made a good fucking point. Like, listen, if God didn't want us to eat animals, why did he make them so delicious?
I mean,
It's true.
why does pork melt on your tongue? Like, why does tuna casserole make
Yeah.
you want to fist fight your grandma?
Yeah.
Like, why are animals so tasty if we're not supposed to eat them? What's the
Why
logic there?
are Five Guys burgers so delicious?
Yes,
Like facts. I just had Five Guys the other day. I had
You bastard.
Oh my God,
You didn't contact Chris to contact me?
Listen, if I thought that you would go for it, I would have definitely shot
I
you.
would-
I'm like,
It's
I'm telling
Five
you.
Guys.
Yo, I was like,
How drunk am I? I says Susan will blow you for Five Guys.
I will not blow him for Five Guys,
Listen,
but
that's not a thought you could put in my head because I will stock Susan's room with Five Guys. All right?
you see Five Guys t-shirts. You see those little peanuts and stuff in your room. Like,
She'll open the door like, how the fuck am I supposed to get in here over all these goddamn hamburgers?
it's like, damn it, Al. Now I have to eat my way to the bed. That's on the floor.
I was waiting for her. No, Susan has this unhealthy obsession out with Five Guys. It's
Oh, God. It's beyond unhealthy. Five Guys, Blaze Pizza.
I'm not gonna lie. We talked about that like because we did this news article about the guy who ate a fucking Big Mac for the past 30 years. I probably couldn't eat one food every day. Five Guys, they're pretty fucking close to something I could eat every day. Like them fucking burgers, goddamn.
Five Guys, Blaze Pizza, and what is the other thing? Oh, there's this bloomin' chicken meal at Outback Steakhouse.
Okay.
That, like, for weekends on end, when Amber was working with me, every time, because she's like, I can't order this when I'm at Gilderland, so she's like, so when I'm here, I make sure I order it.
Mm-hmm.
So she would get, like, her sirloin, whatever, blah-de-blah, baked potato, all that sort of shit. Her, like, whatever the hell it was that she would get. Mm-hmm. And she'd go, hey, they have a bloomin' fried chicken. I'm like, okay, that sounds good. The moment I tasted this thing, I felt like the way Al would feel the moment he eats the walrus. Like, my life was complete. I could just lay down right then and there and die. And, like, you know, I'd be good with it. Yeah. Because it was a bloomin' onion fucking, like, that type of freaking, like, breading on the chicken.
Yeah.
And then they give you, like, the freaking, like, horseradish sauce that you can just, like, put on top of it.
Slather it down.
It's like, do you want me to speak slower, Al? To, like, let you know how amazing this tastes?
Just a little.
So then, I'll get mashed potatoes.
I'm gonna throw up.
You tell me about those mashed potatoes, girl.
They are so creamy. And they're red skin mashed potatoes.
Oh, you do it to me.
And they're so buttery.
Oh, it ain't good without the butter.
This is getting fucking weird.
On top of that, then you get broccoli.
Oh, God, you killed him with the broccoli.
Come on.
You went a whole other direction. We were having a moment.
Well, my friend, she'd get the sirloin, like, medium rare.
Christian was, he's like, Dad, does Al ever eat broccoli and kind of vegetables? I'm like, he does occasionally. It doesn't happen that often, but, you know. It's like,
I mean, like, I like broccoli, so therefore, like, for me, like, I'm like, okay, that's, like, the perfect meal. Like, the freaking mashed potatoes, the broccoli, the chicken, and, it works.
I do like broccoli, but it's got to be slathered in cheese.
It's not, but it's actually not bad. Like, it's definitely like
kill the whole purpose of it.
It's definitely something I'd suggest to eat. Is that bloomin' fried chicken?
Bloomin' fried chicken. It actually sounds pretty fucking good.
It is pretty good.
So, oh Christ, me slowing my drinking. So I'm feeling these damn Jack. Jesus,
ooh,
I haven't ate all day. So my fucking third glass of Jack and Dr Pepper, it's hitting pretty hard.
So, like, I've gotten into the habit of when I go to Dunkin' Donuts in the morning, you know I like my freaking iced coffee and shit, right?
Sure.
Yeah, so every morning when I go to Dunkin' Donuts, when I'm working, I'll get my freaking, like, large iced coffee, made the way I like it, and so on. Then I'll get, like, an everything bagel.
Don't you like dark and
no,
sugary
light and
or something?
Sweet.
Light and sweet, okay.
Like my men.
Yeah.
So,
poor Al.
Oh,
she keeps making it so hard for me.
No,
she doesn't understand that this isn't even going to slow me down. Like, nothing you say is going to deter me.
So, remember Longhorn?
I kind of, yeah.
So, when Longhorn and I used to work together, one time, like, this one bitch had, like, knocked my coffee off the table after I'd taken, like, one sip off it.
That's fucked
out
up.
of it. And it was a large iced coffee.
Yeah. There's grounds for a fight.
So, I was ready to kick her ass. She, like, handed him the money right away. She's like, get her a new fucking coffee. Get her a new coffee. I'm paying for it. It's my fault. I knocked it off the table. Like, get her a new freaking coffee.
Give her credit for that.
I did.
Okay.
And he's like, write down how you like your coffee. And I'm like, okay. Large iced coffee, French vanilla swirl, light and sweet, like my men. And I wrote that at the bottom. And he didn't know this until he got there. And he's reading it off to the person. And he's like, I want a large iced coffee, French vanilla swirl, light and sweet, like my men. Oh, shit! And the guy, it was a guy. And it was like a real hood-looking guy, too. And he looks at him and he's like...
Sounds kind of racist.
He's like, what? I mean, I'm not saying, like, the skin color or anything about, like, what he looked like.
I know what you mean.
It could be a white guy that looked freaking hood. It doesn't matter. But I knew what guy it was, too, so that made it even more hysterical. So the next day when I was there and he was there, I looked at him and I'm like, so... And he's like, yeah, some guy came in yesterday and ordered his coffee the same way you do. And I'm like... Yeah, that was my coffee. He's like, oh, wait, did you write the note? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, that's fucking hysterical.
It makes perfect sense now.
And I'm like, yeah, That was
Yeah.
great. And I'm like, because I flirt with him all the time, and
Yeah.
he's like, that's even more funny.
Ah.
He walked back to the store. He's like, I hope you're fucking happy. And he like hands me the freaking coffee, and he like hands me back the note, and I'm like, actually, I do feel really good about myself now. That made me
Well,
feel so much better.
I'll pull up another one. I'm not sure how you and Al feel about this, but as a parent to a 14-year-old, I can honestly say that the situation would happen, I would fuck this kid up. But like, this says, I'm not even lying. 11.
I had to just think for a second. Is he really 14?
Yeah, I'm telling you, time flies.
Oh
but,
my god, I feel old.
Yeah. Well, like this news article, I'm sorry, guys. Sometimes you have to make exceptions to the rule. But 11-year-old pistol whips a driver, helps mom in carjacking. I can tell you right now, I'm not into hurting children. If an 11-year-old pistol whips me, I'm gonna beat the shit out of him.
Facts.
I'm sorry, but like, and also like, what 11-year-old is pistol whipping somebody? Like, Jesus Christ, man! Like,
Entire fact. Like, I'm not into beating kids. I'm not into hurting kids.
yeah, I'm not.
But you come at me with a pistol on some, I'm a pistol whip you.
Yeah,
Wait,
I'll beat
hold
you
on.
like I'm your father.
Read it again. Read it again.
It says, actually, here, I'll let you, because I'm drinking, but here you go. But that's the article. But no, a 11-year-old helped his mother hijack a guy, and he fucking pistol whipped a 48-year-old man. I'm 40, Allison's 40, but like,
A boy estimated to be 11 years old pistol whipped a driver
I
as
am
he
gonna
helped his mom
beat
commit a
your ass, son.
carjacking in St. Louis on Tuesday. Cop said the mom and son duo made off with a 2017 Nissan Rogue after they stunned 48-year-old driver out of
yeah,
It stunned 48-year-old driver out of his SUV. KMOV TV reported.
Yeah.
The victim, who wasn't identified, was filling up his vehicle at a gas station near Grand Avenue and Osceola Street in the city. KSDK TV said, citing police. The mother asked for a ride, and the man reportedly agreed. But the mob snagged the keys from the ignition as the kid pulled out a handgun and whacked the driver in the face, according to the station.
Yo, listen, I'm like,
The mother then dragged the victim out of the car, and the two sped off, KSDK stated. Not surprisingly, participating in the crime at a young age worried Webster University instructor Dr. Muthani Musangali,
whatever.
who was interviewed by the station. I just think this puts him on the wrong path, Musangali
You think?
said.
I think.
Desensitization to violence at such a young age, it means the young boy may be more likely to engage in violence, aggressive behavior, or even criminal activity in the future.
See, I'm a bad parent.
I mean,
yeah. I'm gonna fuck Al. Like if I'm gassing up and you pull up on me with SUV and you and your 11-year-old try to pistol whip me, it's on.
Listen, I'm not only am I going to take the gun from him, I'm going to beat him like he was my kid. I'm going to take my belt off,
like,
and I'm going to leave welts on your butt cheeks.
see, that's why I had to read it for a second, because with the way you said it at first, I thought the kid pistol whipped the person trying to hijack his mom's car.
Nah. Him and his mom pistol whipped the guy.
So that's why I had to
Yeah,
read
I'm
it, because
sorry.
I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, what?
Especially if I'm at the gas station gassing up and you fucking pull out a gun, you fucking deck me in the face with a gun, little boy, man. Listen, it's gonna be. Oh boy.
That's fucking horrifying.
Yeah, but
God, this world is so insane.
well, it says before, the thing is, like, I understand age is a factor and it's not always a kid's fault, but the thing is, a 10-year-old, if they pull the fucking trigger, trust me, whether a 10-year-old pulls the trigger or a 50-year-old man pulls the fucking trigger, a fucking bullet's a bullet.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm sorry, but that's how it is. So,
that's 100% fact.
yeah. This article is just like, man, Al has broken down a bunch of times, and I agree with him. Like I said, there's difference between anti-vaxxers and vaxxers and everything going on, and still COVID vaccines are becoming a hot topic and stuff. But this is kind of weird. I'm not sure how this comes down to the medical consent thing. But a man punches a nurse in the face because the nurse gave his wife the vaccine without his consent. I mean, did you have to deck the nurse in the face, dude? Like, I mean, holy shit, man. So,
I'm not saying I'm defending him, but nobody should be injecting anybody with anything against their without their consent. You know,
I
like
think. Let me read more of this. 'Cause the thing is, like, but the thing is, if the wife said yes, is the husband's right to like?
well, if she said yes, then they have consent. So
Okay, it says the man became outraged upon learning that his wife was vaccinated at the office without his authorization and hit her in the face.
hit his
Damn.
wife in the face.
No, the nurse.
Oh.
But the thing is, it is unclear whether the suspect or opposed vaccinations or whether his wife had been vaccinated at the pharmacy. But as usual, they don't tell much. My patience has reached its limit. I think it's important to leave our children in patience and peace. But like, apparently, I mean, they won't say if the wife consented, but I mean, he just said he punched a fucking nurse in the face for not.
What's scary about that is you got to consider the fact of what if, because if the nurse is my wife,
Yeah.
she calls me and tells me she got punched in the face, I'm going.
Oh, exactly.
I'm going to her job with the intent to commit murder. Like,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's a dangerous game you're playing when you feel like you could just go off half cocked. I'm saying nobody should be. I'm not saying he's right for what he did because he's not, clearly.
Yeah.
But him being upset, like if his wife didn't give consent or he didn't give consent or she's unable to or whatever, I get him being upset. Him punching the nurse in the face, that's too far. I mean,
Yeah.
you want to get mad and you want to yell and rant or whatever, do your thing. But when you put your hands on somebody, you're in a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
Like, that's a whole different thing. Like, he has no fucking rights.
Yeah, that's
to do that dumb shit.
that's a fucking weird situation right there. I'm thinking I've never been to it. So, I'm not. This is fucking weird. I'm not sure how I feel about this. But I'll ask you and wait till Susan gets back. But this says that a woman throws an injured puppy into the ocean because she couldn't afford a vet. I mean,
They should put her in jail because there's a bunch of things you could do. There's
Yeah.
animal shelters, there's adoptions, there's
yeah.
offering it to other people.
She tossed the puppy into the ocean, telling cops she didn't have money to pay for a vet. She was arrested Tuesday and she slapped with a felony charge of aggravated cruelty to animals for throwing the puppy into the ocean. Jesus Christ, man. So people are
She
fucked up.
definitely needs jail time.
The dog was rescued and treated, and ultimately, had to be put down. But the thing is, did it have to be put down because she was too late, or just? But like, yeah, man, wow. It says, when officers arrived on the scene, they found the puppy curled up in the sand and nursing an obvious injury. Damn. She told the cops the dog was injured a week earlier, and she did not have the money to take it for medical treatment. But like you said, so that animal suffered for a fucking week with an injury, and your indication is throw it into the fucking ocean? Like, man. Okay. That's that's some fucking dark shit right there. But
People are fucked up.
no, like you said, there is so many fucking things you could have. Man, Jesus Christ.
Human beings are fucked up, dude. That's just what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going through fucking the ether and stuff, but wow. So this, I just said it'll always be a fucking hot topic situation, especially with the whole Chappelle stuff going on. But like, I don't know, man. Like, what's gonna happen with the fucking future? It's like I understand there's difference between hate speech and fucking opinions and stuff, but this is happening more and more with schools and also universities. But this says a Pennsylvania university threatens consequences for misusing pronouns. So a Pennsylvania university has threatened that disciplinary action is going to be taken against students who misuse classmates' preferred gender pronouns. And like, so far my son hasn't dealt with this shit, but like, I don't know, man. It's like, they're saying that Point Park University in Pittsburgh is saying that it formed its student body through an email, that it's part of its new policies from 2021 and 2022, which include a policy of misgendering, pronoun misuse, and dead naming, and a preferred name policy according to the email obtained by Campus Reform. So again, like, this becomes a tricky situation because, again, if my son starts school in September and say, for instance, like, you're Al, you're Al in September, by December, you're like Alice or something. Mm-hmm. If my son still calls you Alice, are you going to fucking kick my kid out of school because now he still calls you Al? Like, I don't know. So, but misgendering, continued misuse of an individual's pronouns, or using an individual's dead name after being informed of a chosen name could result in a violation of the policy. And they're just talking about, like, basically the short version is they're going to start kicking kids out of school if they're trying to they're trying to call the situation, like, dead naming and misgendering as considered fucking hate speech. The email included links to their pronoun inclusive language guide, which suggests replacing common gender gendered words with neutral ones, such as replacing boyfriend and girlfriend with partner or ladies and gentlemen with students and guests. I get like, what is your take? I get that language is always evolving, but like, I can't call my girlfriend anymore. She has to be called my partner. I can't call her my girlfriend. Like,
see, this is weird for me.
I don't know, man.
This is weird for me for this reason. I have mixed feelings about it. My mixed feelings are this. On the one level, I get how people would want to be like referred to by the gender that they prefer.
Okay.
I get that.
Yeah.
But I feel like punishing people by kicking them out of school because they don't adhere to that policy or whatever, I feel like is overreach.
Yeah.
For this reason. It's like, why punish me for something that I fundamentally believe?
Yeah.
Right? It's like this isn't my personal belief, but I do understand that some people believe that there are only two genders. It's an argument that could be had. I don't believe that, but I know people do believe that. Right? I know there are people who are like, there's only two genders and I don't want to deal with anybody who considers themselves outside of whatever gender, whatever. That's not my belief, but people believe it. Yeah. Now, I put it to you like this. I'm a man. I see myself as a man. I identify as a man. And if somebody would consistently refuse to acknowledge me as a man and just refer to me as her, she, lady, woman, that's going to lead to a problem that's it could only be resolved in a bad way. Like the only way to resolve it is bad actions, right? And it would be so much simpler for the fact that if I acknowledge me as a man, you acknowledge me as a man, we could move along amicably. Now, the hiccup is this. Because I'm a man, biologically a man, it'll be easier for people to say he's a man and acknowledge me as such. Yeah. But if tomorrow morning I decided to be a woman, people are going to be like, nah, you were a man yesterday. Why would I all of a sudden call you a woman? Yeah. Right? So I get that some people see it that way and that's what it is. But to the beginning part of this conversation where what you identify as is very important to you, right? It's like you're a man and you identify as a man. You know to yourself you're a man. Yeah. You're a biological man. You were born that way. You see yourself that way. And to you, your identity is important. For me to decide that regardless of how you feel about you, I'm just going to refer to you as Crystalina. And I'm going to fucking acknowledge you as a woman no matter what you say to me, no matter how much you tell me, I don't like that. Please stop doing that. Please don't do this shit because it bothers me. Yeah. And I just disregard your feelings and disregard your words and do what I want. Then it becomes a problem between us, right? Now, I know it's not the same thing. I know it's not that cut and dry. It's not the same because as a man who's born a man, who's known he's been a male for his entire life, it's easier for you to say, I'm a male, and that's what I am. And if you misgender me in any other way, it's a problem. But people that, like if I've known you my whole life and tomorrow morning you decided I got a secret to tell you, Al, I'm really a woman on the inside, I because I'm your friend, out of respect for you, I will say whatever pronouns you want me to use, I'll use. Yeah. The person across the street that doesn't know you, that isn't your friend, is going to say, this man all of a sudden dressed up like a woman. Yeah. And regardless of what you say to tell him like, nah, this is the gender I prefer, this is how I want to be seen, he could make the argument based on his belief and the way he was raised and his ideologies, like, you're not a woman, regardless of what you say. You're a man. You're born a man. And that's where the argument starts. So I could see both sides of the argument of somebody saying, this is what I prefer to be called at. This is how I see myself. This is how I identify. So I would like you to refer to me this way. But then you get the people who would just be like, nah, even though that's your personal feeling, you're entitled to it. My personal feeling is that that's not what you are. Like, so that's where the head bumping, the head button comes in basically in a place of we're refusing to basically communicate and compromise. That's where it comes into. Like, it's just that space where we've decided that no matter what happens, I don't want to agree with you and you don't want to agree with me. Yeah. And that just spirals and it gets worse because what happens is the longer the confrontation goes on, the more embedded each person gets into their argument. Yeah. Now it's fair to I feel, this is my own personal feeling, my own personal opinions. I feel like it's easier for the person that's saying you're not a woman just because you feel like that. It's easier for that person to make the compromise and say, I could just respect your wishes.
Yeah.
But that person isn't going to do that for whatever reason, for he's got too much pride or he doesn't want to, or whatever his reasoning is. I don't know. I can't speak for that person. But it would be the person that's conflicted. Well, not conflicted. Wrong terminology. The person that identifies as a different gender than the one they were born as. A lot of people like to say, because I've had a person that at work tell me, oh, I consider that a form of mental retardation or whatever. Yeah. If a person sees themselves as a different gender. Okay. And I'm like, you say that, but understand what you're saying. If you think that that's a form of mental retardation, understand that at least half the population of the human species for as long as we've existed has been mentally retarded.
Yeah.
And we're just procreating and making more mentally retarded people. That's what you're saying. So I asked that person right out. I was like, so if your kid tells you tomorrow that they identify as a different gender, are you going to consider your own kid mentally retarded? Right? And they're like, well, it's different when it's your own kid. And I was like, this is the point. Everybody is somebody's kid. So it's like you can't just make the decision to decide. Like I could drag on this forever.
No, definitely. We could do a fucking 4-hour podcast on this thing alone.
Facts. But I remember the other day having a full-out argument with a friend of mine. I mean, blown-out argument, yelling at each other, right in each other's faces, right? And my argument, my side of the argument was, what is it that you get from saying transgender women aren't real women, or anybody that's transgendered is not, like, what do you get from that? And he was trying to come at me with the whole argument, oh well, it's scientifically proven that there's only two I was like, stop. I was like, let me stop you right there. First of all, there is no science that you're going to show me that proves there's only two genders. Science makes the suggestion of genders based on the ability of species to reproduce. Science is never. You cannot show me where science says 100% definitively, in the name of science, there is only two genders. It is male and female. Nope, you can't do it. Science always references genders in terms of biological reproduction. So science will definitely say that two genders exist, but they will never say only these two genders exist, right? Science will 100% tell you that there is a male of the species and there is a female of the species, but they will never tell you the nuances of how the two species interact, right? Science will never get into the details of how, now, modern day, science is attempting to correct its steps. Yeah. But previously in science, there's never been anybody that went into the full-blown, this is how the spectrum of sex works, right? And people want to try to use science, but my thing is, if anybody wants to use science as an argument, let's start at the very most basic level of it. Scientifically speaking, are these people humans? And if they're not humans, then you could make any argument you want. But if they are humans, are they not deserving of the same human rights that you, I, and every other person have?
Yeah.
Right? Because if your argument is that, from a scientific standpoint, if your argument is that they are human as we are human, as I am, as you are, as we all are they not then deserving of the same human rights? Because if you could make the scientific fact, if you could prove to me on a scientific level that you're a human and a person that is transgender is not human, if you could prove to me, if anybody could prove that to me on a scientific level, then I will listen to every other part of your argument.
Yeah.
But before that, I want to start from the very most basic level. Are we not all human beings? And if we are.
It's definitely because the thing is, even like the term transgender is still kind of like, for most part, recent, and like all these situations are very new, and it's going to take generation after generation to like evolve to like what we're going to be. The thing I don't like about the situation is like from their side, they always say like, well, you know what, like I'll just say one example, like Bruce Jenner, for example, like now calls himself Caitlyn. Well, if you sit there, if you say that I'm still a man, that's the same thing as calling a black person, say like a nigger, or like no, say calling a gay person a faggot, and I'm like, that's not this for me the same situation. Like, you know, like you understand the word nigger is very derogatory, what it means. You understand calling a gay person faggot or calling a lesbian a dyke, for example, that's derogatory. That's the history behind these words of like said nigger or faggot or dyke or just chink or whatever the case is, spick, whatever you want to use. That's a whole different situation because you're purposely calling. It's like if you call a black person a nigger, there's a certain fucking malicious intent behind that. You're doing it for a reason. Bruce Jenner calling himself a woman, it's like, well, I don't agree with the fact that you're a woman because I think you are a fucking man. You are biologically, you're still a fucking man. They're trying to like, you know, put themselves into the same category as every other fucking person. I'm like, it's not the same thing though. So
I could say this.
I don't know, man.
I'll say this. I personally don't see the correlation between the two subjects, but I will say that if somebody says to you, please refer to me as this, and your response is, I won't refer to you as that under any circumstances, then I have to believe that there is some malicious intent. Yeah. Because it doesn't hurt to just say, well, this person wants to be referred to as this, so let me just do it. The only reason that a person has to say, I won't do it, is out of pride, your pride to say, well, I don't want to do it just because that's what you want. Yeah. Like, you know, and it doesn't, like, it doesn't make a lot of sense. It's like, it's as simple as saying, you're in the desert and you're thirsty and you want water and I have water and you say, yo, can I get a cup of water? And I'm like, fuck you. Fuck yourself. I'm not giving you my water. I'd rather watch you die. Like, that's malicious. Like, you can't, there's no way you could tell me that isn't malicious because on average, a person, just out of common decency, I see you dying in the desert and I have water, I will offer you, I wouldn't even wait for you to ask. I'll offer it to you. But right now, we're at a space of where a transgender person would say, please do this for me because this is what I would prefer. And the other person would say, go fuck yourself. I don't have to give you that water. I'd rather watch you die in the desert. Whereas a decent person would say, you know what? I see that you're not, you know, cisgendered, you're fucking of a different set and you rather this, so I'll give it to you. You wouldn't even have to ask. Some people you don't even have to ask them. They will comply just because just so that we could all work well as a unit. The reason that imagine how good, right, we could be as a species if we just decided let's work well together. But there are people who on purpose make the decision like, I don't want to work with you. I don't want to do whatever it is that would make us benefit each other. I don't want, like, it's when you see people that are like, I'm racist and I hate these people because of this, or I'm sexist and I hate these people because of this, or I'm ageist and I hate these people because of this. When you see those people, understand that that's a choice. That's not that these people are biologically designed that way. That's them making that decision of, I want to do this because I don't want to get along with y'all. I have chosen an arbitrary thing to dislike, and I don't want to get along with you. I don't want us to live in unity. I don't want us to fucking have cohesion. I rather just pick a stupid reason and be mad at you for this dumb reason that I've chosen. It's like when you think about somebody that's like, I hate this person because he's Hispanic. I hate this guy because he's black. I hate this guy because he's white. I hate this guy because he's Chinese. That's a dumb reason to hate a person. Yeah. Like, it's like literally this person has done nothing to you and you've decided, I don't like them because of this. Yeah. You know, it's like, it's just a dumb thing. It's just,
I feel like, you know, you and me have had these conversations plenty of times, but in terms of the podcast, like, I feel like a lot of situations like this, it's almost like religion, just in the comparison where it's like, listen, I don't care if, like I said, if you're Buddhist, if you're Christian, if you're Catholic, you can say, hey, happy Hanukkah, you can say Merry Christmas. I have the right to say, like, I don't have to say Merry Christmas back. If I say Merry Christmas back, or Happy Hanukkah, say I'm not Jewish, I would say Happy Hanukkah back out of respect and stuff. Even though if I don't believe in your religion, I don't understand your religion, I would say Happy Hanukkah in terms of fucking respect. Now, when somebody tells me, Chris, well, I'm Jewish, and like they try forcing their Jewish beliefs upon me, that's a problem.
That's a problem for everybody. That's exactly, that's typically a problem in general. I agree with you 1,000%. Like anybody that tries to force religion on me, this is it's one of them things where, you know, like how some people feel like there's this war on Christmas, right? Where you know, we no longer say Merry Christmas, we say Happy Holidays. Like, I'm not a part of the bandwagon. If somebody says Merry Christmas to me, I'll say Merry Christmas back.
Yeah.
If you say Happy Holidays to me, I'll say Happy Holidays back. If you say Happy Kwanzaa, I'll say Happy Kwanzaa back. Whatever you say, I'll greet you in that way because I understand that's your thing. But to force anything, especially with the way I feel about religion, like it's not my thing. I don't have any love for it. I don't even have any respect for it. I would never ever just blatantly, outwardly disrespect religion in front of people that I know are religious. Yeah. Because that's not the goal. It's not the point. But you try to force feed me the nonsense, and I'm gonna fucking balk at it every single time. Like I don't want nothing to do with it.
I just feel like this is for myself. I'm not saying everybody out there. I just feel like, I'm not trying to make the comparison, but in the same vein for like this whole transgender thing. Like you said, Al, if I was at work and some guy came in, like, he's like, hey, I'm Bob. I'm looking at Bob, and Bob said, my name is like, fucking Bobina, okay? Mm-hmm. Bobina is obviously fucking man, but he calls himself Bobina. Out of respect and stuff, I would call you Bobina because, that's how you're referred to and stuff. And if it bothers you so much, if you want me to call you a woman, I'll call you a woman, even though Bobina is some fucking 6'5", 265-pound linebacker looking dude. In terms of fucking like work and stuff, I would respect you to call you Bobina at work as much as you say, hey Chris, listen, I'm Jewish. Okay, happy holidays. But it does become the point of like, and this has been this never ending cycle with this, there is tolerance and there's like endorsement. Because like you said, I can say happy Hanukkah, but don't try to tell me I have to be Jewish. So I kind of feel like, listen, I'll call you Bobina. I would say you're a fucking woman, but I don't fully support the idea because I still feel like the women in my life, like my mother, my sister, my girlfriend, they're women. I still don't agree with you the fact that I don't think you're a woman because you're not born one. But like, I don't have to disrespect you, but please don't tell me like we this is because everything we do as a species, it seems like we go through these massive extremes. And I hate these articles of like, we've seen them, the articles on the fucking podcast. Well, I'm a transgender fucking woman. If you don't have sex with me, you're phobic. Okay, now you're crossing the line, dude. I will call you a fucking woman. I will respect your boundaries, but don't call me phobic because I've been inside Selena's vagina and you don't have a vagina. I'm sorry, you are biologically a guy. I'm not phobic. I don't want to fuck a guy wearing a wig. I'm sorry.
Let me tell you a funny thing I watched the other day, and I started to try to send it to you, but it wouldn't. I don't know why it wouldn't let me send it. Like I couldn't. I tried to send it to several people. Yeah. But I was on TikTok, right? And there's like a bunch of transgender girls that make that statement. There's a lot of them that make that argument. Like, I mean, they're on there by the thousands. And they make the argument that if the one girl in particular that I was trying to download her video so I could send it to you. Yeah. She said, if you met me out at the club or out in the streets or whatever, and you saw me and you were attracted to me and you wanted to date me, and then you found out I'm transgender and then you just don't want anything to do with me, then you're transphobic, right? Okay. And then this guy made a video and asked her, they were on a live and he was like, well, let me ask you a question. What kind of people are you attracted to? Are you attracted to gay men or straight men? And she said, well, I'm attracted to straight men. He was like, so can I now consider you homophobic because you won't date a gay man? She's like, well, that's ridiculous because I'm attracted to straight men. But you're telling me that if I don't want to date you, but you're a trans, I'm transphobic. If you don't want to date a gay man, you're a trans that wants to date straight men. Yeah. Can I now consider you trans? And I'm telling you, it took her forever to get where he was going. Yeah. But she was like, no, because I like straight men. You can't call me homophobic. I am not homophobic. It's just that I'm attracted to straight men. I'm not attracted to gay men. He was like, this is the point everybody's trying to get you guys to grasp. Exactly. I'm attracted to women. The minute you tell me you're not a woman, my attraction goes away. Exactly. So it's like, you can't tell me. Yeah. And like, I get that transgender women consider themselves women, and I will refer to them as women all day. Yeah. But that has no bearing on what a man is actually attracted to. Like, I'm not. If you want to be acknowledged as a woman, I'm with it all day. I will acknowledge you as a woman. I will respectfully see you as a woman and treat you as a woman. But there's a part of me that's never going to be interested in you because I know deep down that you're not born a woman. You're a woman. Like, I don't even know how to phrase it properly because I know right now they don't like the phrasing of you're not born a woman, right? And I don't want to I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
Because even on the side out, because it's like people would say, okay, what is gay? Okay, obviously, if you're a man, right, and if you're a man and you want to have sex with women, okay, obviously you're gay because you like sucking dick. Because sucking a penis is obviously a male orifice, just like what females have vaginas. If you're a woman and you like licking a girl's vagina, you're lesbian, obviously. So they get pissed off saying you're phobic. But the thing is, okay, no, I am attracted to the female body, the female vagina. I'm not attracted to penis. I hate my own dick half the damn time. Okay, I'm sorry to tell you this. Like, you know, so it's like, how am I phobic? Where it's like, no offense. Well, I'm a woman. Okay, I will call you a woman out of fucking respect. The thing is, I'm not attracted to penis. You have a penis. Okay, I'm attracted to vagina.
And here's the thing that's even crazier about it. Right? There are trans women that won't date trans men at all. They would have no interest. Like, so I'm like, if you're telling me that that me not being attracted to a trans woman makes me transphobic, how can you then tell me you're not attracted to trans men and then you're not transphobic? Like, so how does that work? Because you're trans, you can't be transphobic. Yeah. So if you're trans and I don't want to be with you because I see you as not the thing I'm attracted to. You're not saying you're ugly, just saying that because you have a penis and I have a penis and I'm not attracted to people that have penises, how can you tell me that makes me transphobic? But then when you meet a man that has transitioned from being a woman, and you're not interested because this person doesn't have the equipment that you like,
exactly,
you're not transphobic. How do you explain it?
We've had this conversation. This is why people, like you said, people are getting pissed off for. I've had plenty of gay friends. I've met plenty of gay guys. Trust me, in fucking jail. I've had gay friends in jail after jail. And like the gay people I've known would say, hey, Chris, like, you know, I'm not gay. You know, I'm gay. You're not gay. If I tell a gay guy, if I go out to a fucking bar with Salena, a gay guy hits on me. I said, listen, dude, I appreciate it. I'm flattered. I'm not into fucking guys. I feel like 99% of fucking men understand the fact that I'm not gay. They're not trying to fucking convert me. There's that 1% say, oh, you're homophobic. I never say, again, phobic. If I'm homophobic, I want to hurt you or cause bodily harm because you are gay. I'm not saying I want to cause you bodily harm. I'm just saying, listen, dude, I appreciate a compliment. You're a good looking fucking dude, but I love pussy. Okay? It doesn't make me phobic because I'm not attracted to you. As much as, like, you know, we've said on the podcast a million times. If I met a woman, hey, Chris, I'm not attracted to white guys. Oh, you're fucking racist. No, if she likes black guys or likes Asian guys, she's not white phobic. She just likes black guys. It's like, I'm not. So with the whole fucking trans thing, I'm not phobic, dude. In all fairness, you can call yourself fucking whatever, Christina, all you want, but Christina, you got a dick. Okay, I like pussy. I'm not phobic. So, but it's all coming back to, this is going to be a very touchy subject for a long fucking time to come. But I don't feel like kicking kids out of school or kicking people costing their fucking jobs because they don't call you your preferred pronoun. You can't label this as the same hate speech as, again, calling a black person that word, calling a gay person a word, calling a Hispanic person. It's not really the fucking same thing because
I feel like it's not. I agree with you on that. I don't think it's a citizen. It's not even closely.
And this is why I get upset for, because I feel like they're trying to like victimize themselves in the same group. Like, well, call me tranny is the same thing as calling a black person a nigger. And I'm like, if you think that, you've got some fucking delusion going on. Like, do you want to compare the history of the word in English language, nigger or faggot, or compared to like, this is all modern. You guys have not been through how many transgender people were slaves that were beaten the fuck? It's just like, it's such a stretch, and this is what's pissing people off. But like, don't suspend my kid from school because, again, you were Bob last week. My son's Christian. We're in November right now of the school year. In September, you were fucking whatever. You were Bob, and now in November, you're fucking Bob Arena. You can't get pissed at my fucking kid and kick him out of school because 2 weeks ago you were Bob, now you're Bob Arena. That makes no fucking sense. Like, don't categorize my kid as hate speech. Like, come on, guys. You're trying to fucking, like, in more schools and jobs and whatever. Like, I've talked with you about this, Al, and talked to this with this was probably like a couple years ago with a person about our current fucking job and hate speech and stuff. You said this to me years ago, and I agree with you. If I go to fucking work and we work Monday through Friday and work 9 to 5, if during Monday through Friday 9 to 5 you call yourself, instead of fucking Christina, you know, and I have to call you that in terms of my fucking job. The second we clock out of work at Friday at 3 p.m., no offense, Christina, At work, if I have to call you guy, if I have to call you woman, fine. Outside of work, I shouldn't have to call you a male if I don't feel you are one. That's not hate speech. But they're getting really weird with this whole social media and whole thing. Like, well, outside of work, you have to call me a female. No, I don't. Because like you said, Al, and said, I will say this quote 1 billion fucking times. Like, during fucking work, I'll respect you. I'll work with you. I'll be a coworker and stuff too. Whether it's black, white, gay, straight, whatever. Outside of work, I don't have to interact with you outside of my job. I don't gotta fucking be your friend. I don't have to respect your fucking religion. I have the option outside of work to not fuck with you, period. And like, and this is a very big fucking trend where a lot of people feel like you're attacking us because you're forcing, like I said, I believe I'm a woman. Okay, you believe you're a woman. No doubt. I believe you're not a woman because you got a dick. It's like it comes down to there's hate speech and there's beliefs. I'm not saying I hate you. I'm not saying like Al said, you are a human being. I don't want you to fucking die. I don't want to cause you physical harm. But in all fairness, like religion, you can tell me all day, Chris, I'm a Jewish person. Cool, be a Jewish person. I don't agree with you, but I respect you, But don't force your fucking Jewish beliefs down my fucking throat. So if you believe all day you're a female, no offense, I don't feel the fucking same way. Don't call me phobic or call me a hate speech because I don't agree with your opinion. In all fairness, you got a fucking opinion. If I say there's only fucking 2 genders, that technically is a fucking opinion. And it's getting really fucking weird with this whole situation because we're seeing right now, the whole fuck we talked about the past month, Dave Chappelle and the closer. Jesus Christ, man. Every fucking day, there's still more articles about it. Like, guys, let it go. Holy Christ.
Dave Chappelle is a thing to talk about. He's making people that had no relevance be relevant in this moment right now. So everybody's going to keep hashing on us until we're so sick and tired of it. It's like, you know what? You guys could fucking kill yourselves.
Because why is it everyone can take a fucking joke, except for one aspect of fucking society. Everyone else, Chappelle cracks on everyone. Fuck. But,
The thing that's bothering me is that there's a massive industry happening, like there's a massive thing happening in the industry right now where they're actually trying to cancel him. Like they've been canceling fucking all types of appearances and all kinds of shows and all, like people are trying to cancel Dave Chappelle legitimately. And I'm like, that shit is crazy.
Wait, is this what we're talking about right now?
We were just going in. Chris was just explaining his hatred for Jewish people.
I'm sorry. I had to pee and go smoke a cigarette, so I was not aware of what the conversation was.
I'm kidding. He was just he was making a reference to how the transgender. There's some new thing going on where there's a school somewhere that's trying to punish kids that won't acknowledge the preferred pronoun usage, like people that want to be referred to as a different pronoun. And if they don't adhere to the rule, the school is punishing people and suspending them or terminating them because they don't want to call people by their preferred pronoun. And he was saying along the lines of, it doesn't make sense to punish kids for it just because, you send your kid to school and your kid is in school with another kid and this kid's name is Bob. And then, this kid goes home for a weekend and comes back and he's Bobina now. And now you got to refer to him as her and she, and they want to punish the kids because the kids are like, well, he was Bob last week. I don't see Bob as Bobina. Me and Bob been friends for the past year. We've been in class together.
Yeah.
So why should all of a sudden they be punished?
What's your viewpoint on this?
My viewpoint is that I have mixed feelings on it. I have mixed feelings because I agree 100% not to punish the kids, not to punish anybody.
Yeah.
For not immediately jumping in with the new pronouns or whatever, but at the same time, I think it's just so easy to just acknowledge people's pronouns that they want to be referred to.
Okay, Chris?
I'm drunk, definitely. That's why I give Susan the phone. Susan, this next news article, I wanted to share this with Al because I had me laughing. This is why I hate capitalism. Sorry.
Here's my opinion on that, though. The transgender thing. I feel like at this point in time,
Susan, if you ever say Chris, my name now is Sal. We have problems.
I mean, I'll never do that. Flat out. I'm a woman, 100%.
You'll break Al's heart.
Yes, you are a woman, 100%.
Like, Al, listen, I grew a dick. Like, what?
But here's the thing. Like, I feel at this point in time, though, we're beating a dead horse with, like, continuing to comment on this because
no
matter what we say and how we feel.
But I got upset at the fact that now more schools, though, they're kicking kids out. There's more jobs that are firing people.
For not being, like, more conscious.
I just said, it's just like that. Because still, like Al said, you know, whether you agree with it or not, you have the right to not like people.
Well, that's the thing.
I'm sorry.
But let me put my opinion forth with this. One, they shouldn't reprimand kids because, one, kids are still learning, like, what everything is. And when you put children into a situation where it's like, okay, one day you're talking to your friend and your friend is a boy and your friend is perfect example with Al where he's like, I've known Bob for like the past year. Al's like, Bob's been my friend. Yeah. And all of a sudden, Bob goes home for the weekend, comes back, and he's Bobina. Yeah. Like,
if he turns into Alice, I'm gonna fucking be pissed off. Like, Chris, I'm Alice, now I'm a vegan. Like, you know what? You're dead to me.
Listen, let me be the first to say that.
I would see Al becoming Alice before becoming a freaking vegan, though.
In order for me to become Alice and a vegan, let me explain.
Like, he would have had to had a massive something horrible happen in his life where he's like, you know what, fuck all of this. I'm no longer eating meat. There's nothing hard. I want to be a woman.
What it would take, what it would literally.
He will not be slinging dick anymore.
And somebody would have to say, Al, I've got $1 billion in this account that will be signed over to you if you, for 1 week, acknowledge yourself as a female and give up all fucking animal fucking produce.
There would have to be a lot of money
If
involved.
Al cuts me a check, he's Alice. He's a beautiful woman. I respect him. Yeah, I respect his feminine ways. Cut me a check, asshole.
But that's the thing. Like, you cannot reprimand children who are still learning about, like, themselves in general.
True.
For, like, feeling the certain way. Like, if they've known for the past year, like, this person that they're talking to is a boy, and then that person comes back as a girl, like, that's the thing. Like, let me finish. Let me finish. No. Before anything else, like, granted, you want everyone to feel, like, accepted. You want everyone to feel a certain way. You want everyone to, like, live their truth, so to speak, where that's concerned. But at the same point in time, like, you can't, like, reprimand children for having an opinion.
Yeah. Are people, though? Is it like this is getting really ignorant word, like, there's a difference between hate speech and opinion.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, because, like I said, if I say I'm not Jewish, you fucking worry. Are you anti-Semitic? What the fuck did I say that? Like, I'm just not Jewish. Jesus Christ, man. Like, damn.
I'm only laughing over this because I've been watching the New Jersey Housewives. I know Chris hates that.
Oh, but Christ, I hate you.
Well, no, because there was this one specific, like, thing that happened in one of the seasons where one of the women, she was Jewish, and they were talking about, like, there are certain things that'll trigger people, like, where certain things are concerned. Like, and that's life in general. Like, there's probably a certain word I could say to Chris, and it would probably, like, trigger him and be like, you know what, Susan, fuck you. Al, same thing.
Wait, hold on, what? If you fuck me, it's incest.
That's not what I said.
Okay.
The liquors have definitely...
We are not that kind of family.
You just said fuck... I heard Chris and fucking you, like, wait, what? Like...
No. Yeah. Oh my God.
At least I'm not racist.
That's your last cup, Chris.
We are not that kind of family. Let me reiterate that again.
Because I heard you say...
Because there was some chick who walked outside of the bar last week who looked at Jen as Jen was saying something with me and Robert and Greg, and she's like, what, threesome, what? And Jen's like, no. And I'm like, we are not that kind of family.
No.
And, like, Robert, like, just looked at her and he's like, okay, I love my cousin, I love my sister, I would never.
Yeah, no.
He's like, I don't care how hard up I am, like, that's not
enough Jack
not
Daniels
happening.
In a fucking world for that, like.
Exactly. And that was his basic reaction to it, too.
That's what I thought you said. I'm like, wait, what?
So, no.
It's getting weird.
No. Never.
Yeah.
But, damn it, now I lost my train of thought. Chris has me thinking of, like, fucking kissing cousin. That's horrible.
Goddamn Jack Daniels. We've done news articles, like,
But, okay. That was something that was brought up on the New Jersey Housewives because There was one girl, she was Jewish, and, like, her trigger word was, like, if you bring up, like, Hitler, because her father was a Holocaust survivor.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, like, one of the girls, because she was making a point of, like, this one person that they were involved with, like, was, like, a horrible human being and whatever. And she's like, Hitler wouldn't have killed me, so does that make him a good person? In my opinion, and whatever. And the girl was like, how fucking dare you, like, bring this into a freaking conversation? Like, and so on. And, like...
That makes no fucking sense. Like, hold on a second. Like,
so...
Because Hitler didn't kill me, but he'd kill Al. That means it... What?
Like...
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But that was, like, one of the things.
Stop watching those shows.
But then the girl, because of that, she had made the Jewish girl, because of that, she had made the statement to the other girl. She's like, by you making a comment like, that makes me think you're anti-Semitic. And so on, because she's like, why would you look at a Jewish person who has a freaking family member who has survived the freaking Holocaust and insert that into a freaking conversation?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, so I just, it's like, the fucking, I'm good for now, but like that article, I'll give you an article. This upset me, so I want Al's opinion about this.
How do you want me to, like, give my deliverance on this?
However you want.
I don't know what's wrong with me. I think I might have had too much to drink. You started that sentence and my brain went in a whole different direction. All right, let me.
And this is why for my podcast, I advertise alcohol because it makes life fun. Like,
she was like, and how would you like me to? And my brain started to run in circles.
He's like, Chris leaves the room. Like, you know what?
Like, do you want me to be, like, hysterical about, like, hey guys, or do you want me to be like,
however you want,
boys?
That's gonna. I'm drunk enough. I'm not gonna throw up, but
okay.
We're fucking Salena. Bounce out the incest here.
Museum pays artist $84,000. He delivers 2 blank canvases titled "Take the Money and Run."
I ain't mad at him.
Somebody bought 2 paintings. 2 paintings that were blank for $84,000. This guy, he sold 2 paintings that were blank for $84,000.
Listen, my grandmother had a saying, and it went like this: whenever you catch yourself a jackass, you write the shit out of it. So that sucker caught himself a jackass and wrote it to death. Like, if I could get somebody to pay me for 2 blank canvases,
you'll start cracking up.
His grandmother was a wise woman. Like, holy fuck, man! I just, my head hurts.
It was a case of art imitating heist.
No, it wasn't, man.
Just in case you thought charging $120,000 for a banana was a highway robbery, a Danish museum gave an artist $84,000 to use in a commissioned piece, only to have him pocket the cash and turn in 2 blank canvases, cheekily entitled, "Take the Money and Run."
Oh, God, my head hurts.
Mans is a genius.
The blank robbery occurred after the Kunsten Museum of Modern Art in Aalborg asked Danish artist Jens Hanning to recreate 2 of his prior works, 2010's An Average Danish Annual Income
blank
and An Average Austrian Annual Income, first exhibited in 2007. CBS News reported those politically charged pieces used actual banknotes to showcase the average incomes of citizens of Denmark and Austria, respectively. The Rooboots were slated to appear in Work It Out, a current exhibition.
That's why I hate capitalism.
The thing is, you can't even. It wasn't really even capitalism because they paid him for actual work. He just decided to not do it. He was like, "Fuck your job. I'm out. Thanks for the cash. Deuces."
You don't pay up front.
Deuces.
Stupid. It was dumb with them. Man, title his art "Take the Money and Run." He's a genius.
Genius.
Like, things I thought I could do. I could sell fucking 2 blank paintings for $84,000. Like, it's fucking genius, man. Like,
I'm more impressed by the person who sold a banana for $120,000.
That's some gangster shit.
Yeah, like really.
They're like, this banana that's better than every other banana for whatever reason you want to imagine. Here,
This
go ahead and
banana
pay me.
will make you shit gold.
Shit, man, that shit is insane.
This banana
Oh, Christ.
will cure COVID.
Look at that. I'll keep reading through these things. They're fucking funny. Let's see. Yeah, without the August record breaking. Let's see. Westchester woman busted with 21 fake COVID vaccination cards. Holy shit, man. Like, imagine if you had 21 fake COVID vaccination cards on you, Al. That's just like...
Yeah, what you doing, selling them?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, they're a hot topic. Fucking fake freaking COVID vaccination cards are just, they're on the rise right now. People paying top dollar for this shit for a fake
so that
card.
they don't have to go and get vaccinated.
Yeah.
Shit, and I have an actual vaccination card. I'm going to run some duplicates. I'm going to start hustling on the side. Fuck the bullshit.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Fuck.
Let's see.
What, like, did they say anything about what they're charging for the fakes? Like,
No, she just had them.
I'm going to be researching
Al is
that
like
all night.
really like into this right now.
Like, I'm about to fucking really start to sell them.
Yeah. So, let me pop a
Like,
fuck-
do you need a picture on the vaccination
Okay,
card,
that
or
was
is it
dumb.
just like your
No,
name?
It's just your name and the dates that you've been
Well,
vaccinated.
fuck that. I will become Allison Johnson.
Just do it.
Kind of
Or, hear me out, you could just become Susan Johnson. We can make that happen in real life.
No.
Come on, Sue. 3 kids isn't a high price to ask.
Unless the person's name is Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Listen, you can call me whatever you want.
Jesus Christ. This is fucking weird, but I think we
I hate when he starts it off like that.
The Rock. This is okay. How do you guys feel? What the fuck? Man kills wife who laughed off claim that their daughter was pregnant. A Minnesota man shot his wife in the head after she laughed off an unfounded claim that their teenage daughter was pregnant. Wow. So called cops early Tuesday. He actually called the cops. Said he shot his wife, 41, following an argument about their 13-year-old daughter. Holy shit. He said that his wife had told him their daughter was pregnant and believed the woman had been prostituting the teen, leading to an argument. Wow. So he shoots his wife? They tussled on the bed, court documents state. He laughed off his daughter being pregnant. Her response angered him so much that he shot her once in the back of the head with a gun he kept beneath his pillow. Okay.
So she laughed off the fact that their 13-year-old daughter was pregnant.
And he shot her.
Because he believed that she was prostituting their daughter.
Yes. Okay.
I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel
I mean,
about it.
I don't know if I feel like it's justified for, like, shooting your wife, but at the same point, it's like, you know...
He requested that his daughter have a rape kit conducted on her since he believed she was pregnant after being sexually assaulted. But his daughter denied that claim, saying she thought Aldridge believes that since she had severe menstrual cramps the previous weekend, a pregnancy test came back later negative, and the teen repeatedly denied being sexually assaulted. So, he was saying that his daughter was either raped or had become pregnant. So the mother was the biological mother, but he killed her. I don't. So he's facing up to 40 years in prison if convicted and being held on a $1 million bond.
Here's the thing: if the daughter is saying that she wasn't raped and she isn't pregnant, then his actions are insane.
Yeah.
So, like,
I agree.
Okay, so here's the thing. So he probably just killed his wife for whatever reason, and then tried to use that as an excuse.
Yeah, as an excuse for doing it. That's probably right.
Like, that's more, like...
It makes more sense that way.
That makes more sense than... She laughed off the fact that our child was pregnant after she prostituted her.
Yeah. Oh.
It's like, no, you, like, premeditated, like, a reason to kill your wife.
Planned it out and then killed his wife and was like,
Yeah.
I'm going to say this happened.
That's fucking weird.
People are crazy.
What is with people
Not all
now?
people.
People now, I guess it's like, I mean, Alice talked about this in the past about people with social media and social media fame, but people, like, I just don't understand with the internet now in 2021, there are certain things you don't fucking do. It's just, you should know this by now, but a Florida nurse, right? She's fired.
Oh, it happened in Florida.
Of course it is. So she was fired for posting photos of a newborn with birth defects on Instagram. If you're a nurse what is wrong with you? It's like, holy
That
Christ.
is someone's child.
Yeah. So,
people are doing anything for likes now.
Yeah.
Man.
She
That
she was
wrong.
Sierra Samuels, a neonatal intensive care nurse at Jackson Memorial Hospital in Miami, was fired Thursday following an investigation that began early last month after 2 photos of a newborn with an abdominal wall birth defect were posted to her Instagram account. But why are you taking someone else's kid and posting them
it
on
on
your
your
Instagram
Instagram
account? So, holy fuck, man.
That's some, I don't know. That's one of those do it for the gram type of things.
And like Al, but you know, it's like if you became a dad and you found out some nurse did this shit, what would your reaction be besides kicking the shit out of her?
I would sue the dirt out of. I would sue her into non-existence because
If someone freaking did that with my
Fuck,
kid,
man.
I would beat the living shit out of them. I would be in jail. Like, I would
Yeah.
you
seriously
wouldn't. I would
be in
bail you out, and I would thank you for protecting our child.
Jesus Christ. Oh boy. So yeah, just like
I never said it was our child, Al.
Oh, it'll be our child, definitely.
the more I'm just like, I read these articles, I'm just like, fuck is with people, man? It's like you don't post someone else's kid with birth defect.
That's insane because you're
Fuck.
exposing somebody else's kid
Yeah.
to the general public for what? Like, what are you getting out of it? Like, what was she? I don't know.
I mean, fuck, 10,000 more likes or some shit. Like, yeah,
They should hit her with jail time for that. Just so she
yeah,
can
really.
make her
I mean-
an example.
I mean, no, they fired her, but like, I'm with you, Al. 100% fucking. If that was me, I would be suing. If someone posted fucking pictures of Christian online or something, yeah. Oh boy. This is kind of funny, and like sometimes criminals aren't the smartest people in the fucking world. Where just that's criminals for you. But a Missouri man, he was selling a catalytic converter. He forgot to hide his meth in the background. He put up a fucking picture of the catalytic converter in a box. On the side, on the table, there was a fucking bag of meth. It's so
Seems like a genius
Not pick you
marketing
up,
ploy.
Look at her.
What's that?
That's my niece.
Okay. I can't tell. They're all the same
I
babies.
can barely see from here. Pass me that phone, Chris.
It's a small white kid.
White kid.
Let's see. What's her in the front of me? Let me see. Oh, Chris.
I'm fucking drunk.
If you break my phone, I'm murdering your ass.
phone has fucking yeah,
37 layers of protection.
exactly. So
It's an iPhone. Of course, it's going to have 37 layers of.
all babies look the fuck same. I don't give a shit what the fucking skin color. They're all the
The
same.
baby is cute. Like, this is an adorable little kid.
I've seen
The
adorable.
dude in the picture is my
I've
brother,
seen-
by the way.
I've seen adorable little fucking black kids and Spanish kids and Asian kids. They're all babies are cute. Come on. It's just-
Yes, but it's my niece. Therefore,
lot of
she's
babies are cute.
adorable.
Yeah.
Let's
He's a
not say
lot of them.
all- Let's not say all babies.
Oh
A lot
yeah,
of babies are cute.
like I have seen some pretty like horrifying looking children.
Facts.
All right, Al. So his bag of meth and drug paraphernalia were clearly
Thank you,
visible on the coffee table behind the device he's trying to get rid of. Stone County Sheriff Doug Radar said someone tipped him off to the drug stash after he posted the ad on Facebook. Apparently, he must have been under the influence because in the background of his picture he posted, he left his large bag of meth and syringe on the coffee table. Sorry.
What you guys don't know is that he was actually advertising the meth.
Exactly.
It's like, does anybody want to buy this along with this catalytic converter?
So, I mean, Al, isn't catalytic converters a very hot topic with the
It is.
Yeah.
That's sort of like that's the most prized possession on your vehicle right now because of the precious metals that it's made
I
from.
like the top comment, Al. It says, "Man selling meth forgets to hide catalytic converter."
He was selling the meth. Like, yo, anybody want this meth?
Jesus
Come get it.
Christ, man. Oh. Oh, Christ, man. We talked about this, Al, so many fucking times, and Susan will chime into this, but like because my son just turned 14. That's why, like, this, when I was a 14-year-old boy, the things I went through my life. In Susan, it's Florida, because why wouldn't it be? But
Of course.
a Florida teacher was having sex with a 14-year-old student in her car.
Okay, so it was a woman having sex with a boy.
Like Al said, I gotta be honest.
Wait,
if
in
Christian was-
honor of Junior, I believe we should do the Florida Man.
if you can pull it up,
I will.
I still am with Al. Like, if Christian's like that, it is true. Like, when I was 14, I wanted to fuck every single one of my teachers and stuff. Now, as I'm a father, if Christian was like, Dad, one of my teachers give me a fucking blowjob in the back of her car, I'm gonna beat the shit out of her.
Listen,
I'm gonna go with you on that one, man.
I'm gonna go to Christian and be like, up top, my boy, you did the damn thing, and then I'm going to the police station, and this bitch is a rapist. Put her ass in jail. Facts. I'm not cutting anybody any slack because I'm not letting.
Here we go. Police.
Oh, Christ.
South Florida man on LSD charged with tackling Disney World guard.
What?
Miami. A South Florida man who admitted to being on LSD was arrested after authorities said he tackled a Walt Disney World security guard.
God.
James Arvid is pleading not guilty to a charge of battery on a uniformed security guard, and he's asked for a jury trial.
Wow.
An arrest report says Arvid tackled the uniformed guard from behind and put him into a headlock while the guard was making his rounds at Animal Kingdom last month.
Wow. Boy, so
That's
yeah.
just one of them.
That's Florida for you.
That was
So-
the top one.
So this is
There was also a Florida man stashes meth deep in his belly button.
So this says, the student who is now in high school was exchanging texts detailing how much they enjoyed the sex with each other. The teacher would sometimes pick him up after basketball practice, and then the two would have engaged in sexual acts in her car. She taught at middle school and was named rookie teacher of the year in 2017.
She was teacher of the year, all right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she was. So the alleged relationship was uncovered Saturday after the student's sister saw texts and photos between him and the teacher. See, your sister ratted you out, boy. So the boy's father also found nude photos of her, on the son's phone. Damn. So,
I would have gone straight to the police station immediately.
I guess is what the fucking dad did. So, she was charged with lewd and Susan, what's that word?
Lascivious.
Thank you, Al. Wait, what does that mean? How do you fucking know?
Lewd and lascivious. It kind of describes itself. Like,
okay. So she was charged with lewd and battery, molestation, and engaging in a sexual act with a child. One of the teacher's lawyers.
Basically, in other words, she was a scumbag.
Yeah.
pretty much.
So, yeah, it's just.
And how old was the kid?
14. And like I said, she's average looking woman, but I still every time you read this shit, you're just telling yourself that
Thank God all Christian's teachers are ugly.
I'm just saying, Sue, you've been in your 20s,
Yep.
What part of you is I'm 25, I want to fuck a 14-year-old?
Okay, in my defense, though, I've always been into older men. I will never be a cougar.
You see, Al's older.
Definitely older.
So I'm just but women out there, what is, especially now with the internet and oh Christ, there's 10,000 dating apps and there's what part of you now, at least, I would not defend it, but at least in the 90s understand it. But now with the internet, you're telling me at 25, 26 years old, you can't find dick of your own age?
How old was the teacher?
It doesn't say, but she's definitely in her 20s. So
it's a weird dynamic
Was she
shift.
hot?
Say she's average. Here, look. She's average. But again, it doesn't matter.
She's got a better face.
But I don't know. But it doesn't matter how ugly or hot you are. If you're a woman, you have access to unlimited dick.
This is the thing.
Not even just that. Women, all they have to do is look at a guy and say, "Hey."
Literally, a woman could walk into any bar, any store, any theater, anywhere, and be like, "This guy, I'm fucking him tonight," and go home with that guy. There's no fight for women. The whole fight is for the men to convince the girl that I'm interested enough to go home with. It's weird. It's weird that women are now I want to sleep with this 14-year-old. It was always weird to me when men would do it. I remember growing up how essentially they would tarnish a man's reputation if he only, does the simplest things. And rightfully so. Any man that's doing that type of shit, you deserve everything you got. But I get annoyed at how now that it's become, just prevalent for women to do it. Women are now actively being more predatory than men are, right?
Yeah,
they've overtaken the amount of men yearly in terms of how many female teachers are sleeping with students.
I think what it is it's broadcasting more.
Maybe.
So therefore, it could have always been that women were the more skeezy of the bunch.
No, because women, I think as a gender, you guys, you're not as sexually driven as we are.
Well,
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't agree with that. I would say is that
men think of sex every 30 seconds.
25 for me.
The thing
Unless
is,
you're Chris.
it's just kind of expected for men to do that type of shit.
Yeah.
So when men do it, it's like, oh well, we just expected you to be a scumbag.
But that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's more prevalent now. Like, how many women probably got away with it in the past? And that's the thing.
I don't know. It's
because, like, you'd hear about men doing it constantly, but the moment a woman did it, it's like, it's out there. Yeah. Because it's like, you don't expect it.
I just hate the fact that women don't get the stigma that men get. Like, if a woman sleeps with teenage boy, nobody's like condemn this woman for the rest of her life for being a pedophile.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're right.
They don't. But when a man does it, it's like he's done for.
You fucking monster.
Yeah,
because immediately, like, when you think of a woman and you think of a woman when it comes to kids, like, you think like this nurturing human being. But when you think of a man and when it comes to like them doing it to a kid, you're thinking, you sick fuck.
But the crazy,
it's horrible because women just are the same.
And this is the thing. I was just about to say that even though we are the same in terms of the crazy shit that we do, it's like men get the stigma, and women, even though we know that women can be predators, we just ignore it. Yeah. And a lot, like if a man is seen on a plane with a young girl, everybody questions it. And it could be his daughter or a niece or somebody, but everybody questions it. They'll send a sky marshal over to go talk to this guy. Like, it's happened before. But if a woman is on a plane with a young kid, this motherfucker could be some dude she picked up on a street corner. Nobody questions it. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's a woman and it's a kid. It's fine.
Exactly.
Like, that's the shit that I don't like.
I mean, I've talked about
it's like you never question, like, the intentions of a woman.
Exactly.
I think it's because, like, I had this conversation with my significant other recently. Like, we have a pretty good sex life, but definitely out of the two of us, I definitely want it more than she does. Like, she likes having it, but she's like, Chris, like, it's like, I can't keep up with you. And I'm like, well, come on, look at your body. But
how could you not? You're only lasting like 2 seconds.
I'm up to 10. Fuck.
10 seconds. It's a landmark.
Exactly.
It's the extra 8 seconds for.
You've seen something. You've seen she's hot, but no. But Al's not wrong though, and I mean I'm adult enough to admit this stuff. If my son if my son's like, Dad, I fucked my teacher, I'm like, buddy, high five. I'm gonna call the cops now, and that's the end of it.
That's how you would react to it. Like me being a woman, I would be more like pissed off and like.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm man enough to admit that, but. Well, I'm also saying with the fucking gender biases, where it's like Christians like, Dad, I fucked my teacher. I'm gonna be happy for him, also upset. However, I'm just gonna leave it at that, you know. Now, if my daughter, if my 14-year-old daughter says
I'm going on a killing spree. If I had a 14-year-old daughter,
just took the words out of my mouth.
Well, not even just that. Like, your sister now is like 20. If like Kaya came to you and was like, "This is my boyfriend, Chris," and like he's your age.
He's dead.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to call. I say, Al, listen, Al, you got any shovels? Get the shovels out in the bleach.
I don't know if I could co-sign it. I mean, I get that you wouldn't be in love with it, but if I got, like, if I got a daughter or a sister or whoever, and she's 20 years old, I'm not going to like it, but I'll let it go because at this point you're an adult.
But still, like you said, but if my 14-year-old daughter said, Dad, my 26-year-old teacher fucked my brains out, it's gonna, there's gonna be a body in the backyard.
This is how crazy it is for me. Like, I'm not gonna even give a like if she was to tell me, like, if in this weird universe that we exist in, she was like, I at 14 seduced my 30-year-old teacher, I'm still going to his house with my gun.
It's like he's the victim.
You're an adult. You were supposed to say no.
It's true. Yeah, because even a man, every part of me is like, dude, if you're 30, like, what part of you is just like, I get we're all animals and stuff, but like, if you're 30, you're telling me a 14-year-old kid she seduced you? Yeah, like, dude, it's what? Like, that's.
See, that's why I used to get so overprotective. Like when I'd go out with Kaya, and your mom used to tell me to stop because she like made the statement flat out. She's like, one, she's not stupid. She knows better than to like whatever. And I'm like, yeah, but it's still annoying when I'm out with her and like I have like her beside me and there are like guys just like staring at her. Yeah. And it's like now she's developing. Now she's like looking like a woman and whatever. Yeah. And it's like, you know, like back the fuck up. She is 14.
Yeah. But you know, and that's why I said we have me and Al here and Susan. You may get a certain kind of defensiveness as her older, basically sister, you know.
Yeah.
But as her older brother, I have a whole different level of defensiveness. So that's the way it is, you know. Because,
but
I'd do the same, like if it were Christian and Wyatt.
I know, but it's said women and guys. We our anger levels, our view of the world, it's still different. You know, like, again, it's like as a father and having a kid with a fucking female, it's still mommy and daddy look at their kids differently, and that's just how our genders are. So, you know.
But that's the thing. Like, women are going to be more overprotective of their sons. Yeah. And men are always going to be more overprotective of their daughters. I'm
fine with that. I said, it's, you know, if I have a daughter one day, I'm going to treat my daughter a lot differently than I treat Christian. That's just how it's going to be. It's not a bad way, just that's how it is. Like, I'm not going to, you know.
It's like the moment
I'm fine with that.
It's like the moment a guy has a little girl, like that little girl has him wrapped around her finger.
Yeah,
like instantly.
Yeah.
And like the moment like a little boy is born, like a mother,
I think it's because, like, you know, said Al might know that have an opinion about this, but like boys, for the most part, we feel like you still have to protect our kids, but we want to like in some level have our sons be a reflection of us. Yeah. Versus like if I have a daughter, and so whether it's you, Sue, Kaya, Jamie, Jennifer, even Salena and stuff.
Did you really just have to think about Jen's name?
Yes. Yeah. So
that's horrible.
But there's like, I feel like for the most part, Christian, like if I have a daughter versus son, my son is still a reflection of me, where like I'll prepare him for the world. But like I feel like at some point, Christian, I feel like he can handle himself.
Yeah.
And I still feel like, you know, again, you're in your 30s. Actually, you, Jamie, and Jennifer are all in your 30s, and Kai is 20. I still feel like I have to protect you. I don't have to protect Christian. And that's the simplest way I can understand this. It's like, you know, I feel like, I'm not saying you can't handle your own, but like, I feel like if Christian gets into a fight at 30 and you get into a fight at 30, I can trust my son to take care of himself. I know it's primitive, but like, I feel like, you know, Jennifer, Jamie, and you.
That's so sexist.
I'm saying it, but that's how our brain, at least for me.
It's, as fucked up as it sounds, most men are wired this way.
Yes.
To protect women. Like
it is.
It's a thing that we can't. No matter how hard we try, we can't get away from it.
But at the same point in time, it's like... So you're basically saying if I were in a relationship with a guy and a guy like looked at me and was like,
it's like, okay,
you don't expect me to like deck him.
We expect you to deck him.
Yeah.
Except we will follow up on your deck with some decks of our own.
Or like if you ever living shit
because me and Al have talked about this. Me and Al have talked about this a billion times. If you get off work and you walk to your car, you know, you have a certain level of fucking fear that, like, if Christian walks to his car and he doesn't have that level of fucking fear because you are a female. That's how it is. I don't really have that
fear because at the same point in time, like, I'm standing there and it's like, unless someone gives me a reason to fear them.
But saying.
It's not. Let me go where Chris is going. Essentially, it's like this. If you had to walk home, right? Let's say you had to come from Albany High to here.
Yeah.
In the middle of it's like 3:00 in the morning.
Yep.
You'll have a different feeling on that walk home than we would.
Sure.
Because we're not going to be in fear of the guy. Like if you're going up the street and there's a guy coming down the street, it'll make you apprehensive. Yeah. It'll make me apprehensive too, but for different reasons.
Exactly.
Right?
Because like I would say, I never one time in my lifetime at 40 years old, I've never walked to my car from work and worried about somebody raping me.
Ever.
I've never.
It's not a thing that men have to do, ever. Women.
See, I've never had to worry about someone raping me, though, either.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know, but overall, though, but again, it's fucking statistics speaking, though.
Except a lot
of women. Yeah. Exactly. Glad you're on the ball tonight. Sharp. Yeah. But a lot of women live with that fear. Like, knowing how a lot of scummy men exist.
It's like, I get it. I can see it through the perspective of, like, other females, but at the same point in time, me, myself, like, I don't deal with it.
Well, understand the fact that, but how many guys get raped by women, and how many women get raped by guys?
But at the same point, those numbers aren't completely true if you think about it, because no man's going to admit to the fact that a woman raped him.
Well, that's a fact. Yeah.
So you can't go by that.
Yeah. No, because if
Salena walked into the room and like raped you, would you literally come to me and Al and be like, "Salena raped me"? We'd be like,
"Well, let me say this: there is no way Salena can rape Chris. Salena cannot rape Chris. If Salena walks in this room right now and says, "Chris, sex," he's gonna jump out of his clothes.
Okay,
here's the thing. No way she can.
Maybe Selena's a bad example. Say Kate came over here?
It depends how drunk I am.
Like, if Kate came over here and, like, threw you on the bed.
Yeah. But
ripped her clothes off and, like, tried to sit on your face.
I don't know who Kate is, but I'm assuming that she's an animal of some sort.
Al, you ever seen Kate? Imagine a white version of you, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, my God. I can't even be mean about it because, like, I do genuinely like Kate as a person.
No, she's like twice my weight, okay? I'm just sorry. But like,
and she smells.
But no, it's the
horrible.
point that women, overall though, guys, there's very few sexual experiences where we're going to say no. Women, it's like women are more picky than we are. That's just how it is.
Well, yeah.
You know, it's like there's probably maybe on this planet, out of 7 billion people, there's maybe 5 women I wouldn't fuck on this planet versus females. You guys
you say that there's an interesting thing. Like I forgot the saying, but essentially the saying comes down to, like, men are hardwired to fuck every woman on the planet, but we fuck the women that allow us to fuck them. Like,
he's not wrong.
And women are different because a woman, any single woman, can literally choose the guy she wants to be with.
I wish she was here because like, sometimes Selena gets mad. Selena's like, Chris, when you were when you were a kid and stuff, you were like a teenager, some of your exes, I said, Selena, you don't get this, okay? Again, out of 2 of you, you are a very good looking, half Hispanic, half white fucking girl with big boobs and a fantastic ass, okay? You have access to dick 24/7.
Facts.
My access to pussy is very limited, okay? I'm sorry. It's like, it seemed it was you, Sue. 99% of fucking women, your access to fucking dick is 24/7. Most guys, we have to fucking fight and claw and kill each other fucking for 5 seconds of that shit. It's just like, goddamn, women don't understand the struggle of like what we go to. I mean, unless you're like Charlie Hunnam or Chris Hemsworth or fucking The Rock or something. Yes, but the average, like I said, the average guy gets laid at like 1,000% less than the average female. I'm sorry.
You know, it's because women all pick the same guy, right? It's like, you ever wonder why, like, you would meet a girl and she'd be like, I'm dating this guy, but he's an asshole, he keeps cheating on me. Yeah. It's because, like her, every girl in that sphere wants to sleep with the same guys. It's like, there was this thing that was done. I can't remember the exact name of the research, but I know you could look it up right now and find it online, where it was like, they had like 1,000 men and 1,000 women in this big sexual thing, and it was, they were basically essentially trying to tell them to pick who you would pair off with, right? Yeah. And almost like 80-something% of the women picked the same 20% of the guys.
Yeah.
Based on a physical look thing, right? And then when you started factoring in other things like how much money they would make or what kind of house they would live in or the kind of cars they would buy, that started to change the dynamic. Yeah. Essentially saying that if it's based on look or sexual appeal, all women would choose a very small group of guys, and then in order for them to widen that group, the guy would have to be more valuable in terms of the amount of money he made or, you know, the status that he could provide her as a spouse or whatever.
Yeah.
But women would choose the same small group of guys. So it's like every woman, imagine living in a world where every woman on the planet would sleep with 20% of the men on the planet. That means that 80% of the men are not getting laid while 100% of the women are. Like,
you're right. No, it's insane. I've been saying this fucking for the past fucking 30 years. Every time I hear a female say I can't get dick, it's because no, you can get dick because
the guys that they want to sleep with
aren't
the ones that choose them. Like,
you have way different standards than what we have. You know, I'm sorry, but
and they get to live in that world where their standards are ridiculous.
And that's what Selena, honey, I'm not disrespecting you, but like I've had this joke before I met her. Like I had actually a coworker at work say this, like Chris, what's your standards for females? I'm like, have a pulse. I mean, I have 2 legs and 2 arms. Pretty much that's all I ask for.
You're an idiot.
I mean, seriously, at this point, like, it's like
you better have a pulse.
and even then, depending on how much Jack Daniels I get, I mean, the body's warm for 7 minutes. I was like, and everyone, even my this female coworker, she busted out fucking laughing, but she's like, "No, you're stupid." I'm like, "No, but seriously, like what standards do you think we have as men? Again, unless you're Brad Pitt or Chris Hemsworth or Robert Downey Jr. or something, but the average fucking guy, what standards do you think we have? It's like just like, you know, I even told Selena at this point, if you want to fall asleep, I'll take care of the rest, honey. Don't worry about this." Like, fuck. So.
That just reminds me of, like, grown-ups when they were talking about, like, their sex lives and how, like, they're like, yeah, you know, I don't get it as much as I used to, and blah, blah, blah. And, like, Kevin James's character, he made the same, and he's like, yeah, the last time I had it was on my birthday, and, like, she was, like, half asleep, and when I say she was half asleep, I mean she was asleep.
Jesus. Oh, shit. I'll do a dark article before we head out because
why a dark article?
Because it's fun. We had nothing but fun. I want to make you feel horrible before I leave.
You fucking asshole.
Exactly. I have to save one dark article because when Owl's reaction to dark articles are funny because how fucked up our species is. But we've had overall fun. So, of course.
Why can't we just keep it fun?
I'll find for you then. After this one, I'll find one fun article because there's a bunch of them. But could you imagine? Like I said, we've all worked retail and stuff, and like things you deal with on a daily basis.
Yep.
But it says ex porn star, she kills her 2-year-old and dumps the body on the supermarket counter. I'm not making this up. So again, imagine your worst day at work and like what you've seen today. Okay, woman walks in and plops her fucking 2-year-old on the fucking counter. Ah, boy. So, yep. So she dumped his body at the checkout counter of an Italian supermarket. She's 44 years old and she got into a big fucking sorry. She stabbed him to death too after she got into a custody battle with her ex-husband. So yeah. The toddler had been stabbed 9 times across his chest and back. His blood-soaked t-shirt and his mother's jumper were later discovered in an abandoned building nearby. So she walked in, plopped him down in the supermarket, and yeah, there you go. So, whoa. And so, okay, her motive behind the gruesome crime was revenge against her ex-husband. So she's pissed off her ex-husband, so she kills their fucking 2-year-old. And dumps him on a fucking supermarket counter. Whew, boy. So.
I don't even want to talk about that.
It's just like, sometimes, like,
just no.
When females say men are evil, men do horrible shit. Like,
did they put up this woman's name?
Of course, it's a, but so. And the funny part, she's an ex-porn star. So. I mean, this is over fucking the UK, not that it matters, but,
Well, yeah, when you said the word jumper, I kind of figured it was UK.
Here, this will make you laugh, Susan, before we head out of here, because I don't want to go too long. So, I'm just saying, just because this shit goes on where it's like, and we see the horrible shit people do to each other. What is your motive? Well, me and my ex-husband broke up. So you kill your fucking 2-year-old? Christ, man.
I mean, I know she's going to go to jail for a long time, but I hope she needs to like the death penalty or something.
I agree with you on that, Al.
She needs to be put to death like that. There was no justification.
Susan, you're a female. Pretty much, but how many wedges do you get on average?
How many wedgies?
Wedgies.
Like, are we talking like
just wedges?
Are we talking like when
daily, weekly? Like how often are you picking your ass? Like,
it depends on what underwear I'm wearing.
So, wait, let me get comfortable here. Go ahead, Sue. How often do you pick your ass?
Is it every hour? I mean,
it depends on the underwear I'm wearing.
So I didn't know this was a thing.
So what if you were wearing a nice lacy thong?
It was black thong too.
Depends. Does it fit normally?
I don't know.
It fits normally, but it rides up your crack just right.
Depending, when I go to the bathroom.
I never heard this in my lifetime, Al and Susan. So I wanted to hear your thoughts before we head out. Woman nearly dies after an 8-hour wedgie. From high.
Get the fuck out of here! What the hell is going on that your wedgie is about to take your life? Like, what is happening? Like, what is it? What kind of underwear is she wearing? Like,
okay, this says
details. Man.
Who wears short shorts? Probably not her ever again. A North Carolina woman shared that she could have easily died after she contracted a bacterial infection from wearing high-waisted denim shorts for 8 hours. A video recounting her nearly fatal fashion.
How does that even happen to like a bacteria from wearing denim shorts?
Like was she not cleaning
her
cooch?
And here's
what was happening?
And here's the best thing. I keep telling Salena, I gotta get sober. She got 8 million views on TikTok because fucking TikTok, I swear. But so moral of the story: tight shorts are out. She wrote, who goes by the I'm too old to be on this on TikTok. She has set her account to private. Of course, since this, under the clip chronicling the accidental atomic wedgie, which occurred 3 years ago when she was on a date. I don't know. She was wearing very uncomfortable clothes, which prompted her to pick up the high-riding Heine Huggers, a pic of it. Eventually, the gal opted to ignore and just enjoy my time. The next day, she started feeling very ill and noticed she had large bumps where the chafing had occurred. So she had large bumps on her pussy, basically. So, as time went on, it started becoming more painful. The pain was isolated to one spot and it felt like a throbbing, stabbing pain. The next day, she visited a doctor who gave her antibiotics for a possible skin infection in my ass crack. Holy shit. By that point, it was already too late. The next morning, afterwards, she fell into what she later discovered was septic shock after contracting a skin infection called cellulitis. The woman's mother rushed her shivering, very breathless daughter to the hospital, where, according to her, medical professionals considered cutting off the infected part of her butt. Holy shit.
I mean, cellulitis is pretty, Cindy almost died from that back in 2005.
Thankfully, Sam was able to recover in the ICU and avoid the rump-ruining surgery per the TikTok clip. After 3 days of additional recuperation, the grateful gal was discharged from the hospital without any lasting effects, but constantly having to show my ass to doctors every day. Unfortunately, the cellulitis returned a month later, so she returned to the emergency room and got another round of antibiotics. Wow. So, the price we paid to look good for men, of course. Cellulitis is no joke at all, said somebody on TikTok. So, okay, so Sue, you know this. So is cellulitis a big thing for females?
So cellulitis is an infection that can turn deadly
apparently
if not taken care of immediately. My aunt, your cousin, she wound up with it on her stomach back in 2005, and I put her into a coma for a good 4 months.
Jesus Christ.
And it was pretty scary. She had a 3 in 10 chance of living.
Damn.
That's how bad it was. She was in the ICU for a while.
This came from Dr. Carmen Fong, a New York City colon rectal surgeon, told them abscesses occur in almost 100,000 people every year, but most of us believe that this reported number is lower than the actual number because people don't often talk about their butt abscesses or mistake them for hemorrhoids.
Yeah.
She said that she suspected that her caboose crater had formed with bacteria and infiltrated a cut caused by her 8-hour wedgie. In turn, her tight shorts had provided a moist, dark environment where the microbes could thrive. When not treated properly, it can become a very bad infection and make a person very sick.
Well, here's the thing. It depends on how well she... And I'm not saying this to be funny in any way, shape, or form, and I know you're going to start laughing.
Of course.
Al might even start laughing, but
already laughing.
But here's the thing, how well does she clean her ass when she's in the shower? How well does she wipe her ass when she takes a shit? You figure if the clothes are too tight, she's sweating in them profusely because they're too close. She literally, she pretty much could have freaking died from gaining this freaking abscess, cyst, cellulitis, even just a freaking hemorrhoid, if it's not treated properly, can cause severe death.
Yep.
And if your clothes are too tight, and people don't realize this, especially depending on what you're wearing for freaking underwear, you can cut your skin pretty badly, and you can chafe pretty fucking badly. And it wasn't her crotch, it was her freaking ass that this happened on. So as much as you want to laugh at something like this, and it's probably okay to laugh at it to some degree, but at the same point in time, keep in mind, this person literally did just almost die because there was something that they were doing wrong in the first place, and then they did something else just as wrong, causing them to almost kill themselves.
It's just the only thing that's taken away from the funny factor is the fact that the person almost died.
Yeah.
But
it's one of definitely weird kind of situations where it's whoever would thought wearing basically wedgie shorts would have killed you.
Yeah.
Holy shit. So.
But I was saying though, goes back to, like, how well does she keep herself clean?
Yeah.
Like, how well, like, you and I both know, like, you're, like, Mr. freaking clean when it comes to, like,
well, you guys know what, like, I try my wrist, I wipe that toilet down fucking 3 times a day. I make sure, like, I couldn't have, if Al had to take a shit here, you took a dump on my toilet, like, I've heard stories about people. Actually, Sue, you told me this years ago. You were dating somebody where it's like you're a female and you had to like hover your butt above their.
I had to freaking like squat over the toilet.
If I ever had in my life a woman say, "Chris, I've been to your bedroom and stuff in your toilet and it was gross," I would fucking I would hate myself. Like I take pride in having
I didn't even
clean
tell him.
bowl.
I just left.
Yeah. So.
Like.
What's funny is yesterday, like, as she's getting makeup on, I was like, honey, I have to go. I was like, I have to. She's like, you have to take a shit, don't you? I'm like, yep. And I'm sitting there, and she's like, we are way too comfortable with each other. I'm like, pretty much. She's like, you're shitting in front of me, and I'm doing my makeup, and I'm like, yeah.
That just reminds me of the peeing and farting in the shower.
I told her, I was like, honey, at some point, like Big Al would say, I got to take a piss, and you got to hold it, because we got to see if this works. Because Al told me it's a beautiful thing.
What the fuck?
Facts.
I'm taking Al's advice. He knows
it's a fact.
She said she wants to try it, so we got to do this sometime.
So one of these days when I want to take a pee, I'm going to let you aim it for me.
No. It's never going to happen.
Not only am I going to let you aim it for me, it's going to become our thing.
I told her, I was like, at least because of size differences, I kind of form a protective seal around the toilet bowl, so I kind of keep my scent inside. I hate the fact that I'm sitting there asleep. I'm laying in a freaking bed, waking up, and I hear... It's like, honey, God, shut the fucking toilet. She's like, fuck you. And I'm like, don't say that on the podcast. I just did. It's like,
has she ever caught you in a Dutch oven?
No, I told her that story.
Have you put her into a Dutch oven?
You need to Dutch oven her
when
at least once.
When Al told me that story, I fucking laughed so goddamn hard. I laughed for like 20 minutes off that shit where he's just like...
Listen, I promise she's probably going to beat the shit out of you. It is worth every second of it. Every second of it.
I got her at Walmart the other night. I picked up...
Here's my other question. Have you gotten her to do a Dutch rudder?
Not yet. So.
Well, you can't do the double Dutch rudder because she doesn't have a dick, but you can definitely do the Dutch rudder.
Well, I got her in Walmart. She was laughing yesterday because I picked her mother up, and I don't know what happened. Just something I ate all day, and I don't know what's going on. But her and her mother, like, they're shopping and stuff, and out of nowhere, it's just my stomach, and it was no sound, but just pure sewage. I walked by her, and she's like, Chris, and the look she gave me a pure like. Disgust and hatred. She's like, you're fucking disgusting. I'm like, yeah. I walked by her fast because I tried people were walking by, so I tried blaming it on Salena, like she's the one who did it. But like she runs by, and her mother's like, Chris, what's going on? I was like, right now your daughter, she fucking hates me. She's like, why? I'm like, because my stomach hurts. I tried passing off like she's the one who did it, and her mother was in tears laughing. It's like. Her mom was like, Mom, this is who I'm in love with. And I'm like, yeah. Oh, Christ. It smelled like just pure fucking this, like a septic tank. And I walked by Salena so fucking fast. It said, she looks directly at me because she knew it was me. She's like, you sick fuck. And I'm like, yep. I was like,
it's like no one else's ass can produce that.
Yeah.
My favorite, though, was the one time at freaking Goodwill. I think I went into the bathroom, took a shit. You went in the bathroom, took a shit.
Yeah.
And then Jim went in right after us, and he's like, oh my God, what the fuck is wrong with both of your asses?
That's a bad diet. Yeah.
Or, like, the worst one was the time Jim had to go in there and take a shit in frickin' Stacy's.
Yeah.
Like,
knocking.
Like and she's like, is it coming out? And he's like, you're making it go back in.
Yeah, she's harassing him. Yeah. I told her like yesterday, I was like, honey, this is definitely a fucking like we're gonna have a weird marriage and stuff because like Big Al would say shit like, you know, like the fact that like I just sit down and take a shit. She walks in like nothing's happened. She's brushing her teeth. She's freaking like, you know, doing her fucking makeup. I was like, do you have any kind of like shame? She's like, no, not really. And just like, and she just like plop. I brush my teeth. She sits down, drops her fucking pants. She's just taking a massive shit next to me, and I'm like, I've never had a girlfriend do this. And I'm like, I was like, Big Al said you're very comfortable around me. I'm also gonna say that stop being comfortable around me because I'm trying to brush my teeth and you're shitting next to me. And like, it's like we are way too comfortable with each other. Like,
ultimately, that's the goal, though.
That is.
Yeah.
You have finally found the woman.
Yeah, I really have. So I can't wait till she fucking hears this. Because she listens to
she's gonna like beat the shit out of you.
Yeah. No, so it's like, oh, she was supposed to be here, but she had other plans. But you know, so she loves Al. It's like I want to see Al so bad. I'm like, yeah, I wish you were here right now. But so
she's at her dad's.
Yeah.
The damn podcast.
She wanted to hang out with friends. I'm like, well, fuck
No,
it.
she's hanging out with her dad.
Yeah, well, but she was, some of us, and she'll hear this, honey, I was up till 5 o'clock in the morning. Why are you up till 5 o'clock in the morning for, Miss, want to try substances? I said, I'm a fan of every kind of substance, but there's certain things, we all know my brain is a very scary place.
Yes,
I've
it is.
accepted that, okay? So I don't need any more besides marijuana mind-altering substances because I'm scared I'm going to see fucking like flying vampires or something or some shit. I don't need to fuck the walls melting or some shit like.
You'll just be the asshole who sees the purple elephant with the pink polka
Like
dots.
I told you, I had 3
and
gummy.
it will talk to you, and it will sound French.
I've had 4 gummy bears, and the
And it
fucking
will tell you that LaRue's its best friend.
the fucking dog was talking to me. Okay, that's all 4 gummy bears. Okay, I don't need any kind of nothing.
That
else.
was the chocolate.
Yeah. It probably was. Yeah. So I know, like I said, during
He was talking to you. Cheesecake just didn't speak.
I just know after I went to
and
fucking
Chloe was like terrifying you.
yeah. Well, we went to the reservation. Selena got to see her first Native American fucking funeral, and the res has about 9 dispensaries. I'm not even exact. They have 9 dispensaries on the fucking res. No joke. And you can buy. I bought some Rice Krispies treats. I had half that Rice Krispies bar. Never again, because the things I experienced was even Selena's like, Chris, and she had half the other bar. She's like, Chris, I'm a pothead, and holy shit, she was fucking up, and I'm like, yeah, exactly. So I told her,
That was made with the good shit.
that was something, all right. So I'm like, I don't need anything else besides edibles to take me on a fucking journey. But it was fun. So, but yeah, so it was good to have I don't want to say 2 all fucking goddamn night, but like having Sue and Al together was a good time. It's been a long time
Sue
coming.
and Al together is always a good time.
So, yeah, Sue, but no, I've been dying for you to come down the past like 10 episodes. Just scheduling's been a bit.
Has it been 10 episodes or has
It's
it
been
been
10
longer?
episodes,
Yeah.
and I've been harassing him all the whole time. Like, yo, when's Sue coming down?
Yeah.
I feel like
Sue
it's been
coming down?
longer though since I've been here.
It feels like it. Well, because like what happened is like this episode uploading, we had to go 3 weeks because it said scheduling conflicts and said Al had personal emergencies coming on. Like I said, I'm never against me and Al talking or just say me and Lewis or just me and you. But like for the most part, I always feel like said I love having at least 3 people bounce off each other. Like
Don't do that, Al. It's contagious.
Yeah. I mean, no, definitely Al makes me laugh, but having you and Al here, I laugh even harder. And I was hoping Selena would be here too. And Selena, was it with her work schedule? It's like her and just Al have conflicting work schedules. So, but I have more fun. The more of us here, the more fun I have. So,
Yeah.
definitely. So, but we'll say our goodbyes because we're hitting 3.5 hours. But it was good having you. I mean, I see you every day, obviously, Susan.
Obviously.
But listening to this, it's gonna be. And plus, I'm drunk as fuck right now, so like, I'm gonna listen back to this episode. Like I said, what, an hour 2? Like, son of a bitch! I mentioned a goat. Like, god damn it. Definitely. And Selena knows this too because we're hitting up. Like I said, I'm trying to make something special where we didn't start dating until a few months afterwards, but we're hitting up. Like Selena came down here a year ago.
Yeah.
And like it's been like, and I said to her,
It's been a crazy ass year.
one thing I don't like about Facebook, and I said this to her, I want to make this fucking very clear that like I don't like phoniness, I don't like fucking fakeness, and even on this fucking podcast, you and me were even here saying when me and Selena first broke up, that like, hey, listen, we broke up, we don't wish bad upon her, we hope things work out, but like I don't like when fucking people said things have been fucking perfect. Part of the realness and the reality of things happen. Like, hey, listen, me and Selena met each other, we dated for a while. Things went kind of south. We broke up, some time went by. We made fucking things up. I don't want to sit there and say that the entire year knowing her has been fucking perfect. It hasn't been perfect. No. And I think that when so many fucking people...
Oh, trust me, I know it hasn't been perfect. I wanted to kill you the first,
Yeah.
few freaking weeks after you guys broke up.
Yeah.
And you're coming upstairs, and it's like, while they were together for the first, time, he ignored everyone practically.
Yeah.
It felt like. And then they broke up, and then he's just around everyone. He's like, what did I do wrong? What did she do wrong?
Yeah.
What was this? What was that? Analyze this. Analyze it. Analyze it. Analyze it. What happened? And then, all of a sudden, they're back together, and it's like,
Yeah.
Fuck you guys, I'm out.
Yeah.
are you serious?
But it's cool, like I said, but I feel like looking back
And it's no animosity towards her whatsoever, because
No.
I love Selena to death.
and that's like Big Al was saying when she hears this. Big Al would constantly say there's things that happen between people, and there's people that have malicious intent, and there's people who have a very fucking jaded history. But my overall thing is having met this girl a year ago, I don't I'm never gonna sit there and say, hey guys, the past year has been fucking puppies and rainbows. No, there's been some good times and some bad times, and this is why I respect like I said, the Elton John movie fucking Rocket Man.
Yeah.
Elton John said, or like Ray Charles with Jamie Foxx, don't make it out to be like these people had perfect lives. It was all fucking perfect and things were fantastic.
Same thing with Bohemian Rhapsody. Like,
yeah. But I respect Elton John for saying, hey guys, listen, I had some dark shit happen. I went through fucking drugs. I went through fucking heroin. I went through like cocaine. I had some, don't make things out to be like it was always good. It wasn't always good. Me and Salena have had a lot of bad shit happen, but we had a lot of good shit happen too. So, but she knows this. And listen to episode 40 when I put down the description. Junior brings his friend Salena down, you know, and she's like, I can't believe I blacked out and said that. And she listened back, holy fuck.
I still haven't gotten to that one yet.
It's hilarious. Like, so.
Like, I think, I want to say I'm up to episode 24 or 25.
What's the fuck point that, you know, for most part, Al can't drink too much because Al has to drive home. But everybody, you, me, Jennifer, everybody's had drunken, stupid fucking rants, which makes it hilarious listening back to this shit. Because
listening back to the one where we had Jamie down here.
Yeah.
And Jen was just drunk off her freaking ass.
Yeah.
And every 5 seconds, every 5 seconds, will you guys shut up? Let Al talk. Al's the only one talking. Like, yeah, but Chris, Jamie, shut up.
Let Al talk.
Let Al talk.
It was like 10
Al's
minutes straight.
trying to talk, but you're interrupting him. We're listening. Yeah. And then the very next episode, we're like, Jen, you were like drunk off your freaking shit. But Jamie was the one who was interrupting Al. And we're like, no, Jamie was being quiet.
That's what I love about Al. It's no matter who's been down here, everybody, Al's like the neutral. You gotta have the one person, the neutral ground.
Yeah.
It's like Jen can get pissed off me because we're brother and sister. Jamie get pissed off, or even like, you know, you. But Al's always like everybody universally.
See,
Al has a thing where everyone loves Al. That's just how it is. Like, you know,
one of my favorite episodes, though, and like, no offense to Al because he wasn't here for this specific episode. But my favorite episode that we did was episode 19.
Okay.
Episode 19, it was you, me, Jen Jr., and Elliot. And Al, for whatever reason, he couldn't show up.
Yeah.
And he missed out on, like, a funny-ass freaking, like,
I'm going to go back and listen
episode.
to it.
No, but here's the funny thing is, like, we lost, like, an hour's worth of freaking, like, content.
Yeah.
And shit, and like everyone at that point is just drunk off their fucking ass. And like the next freaking episode, like Chris is apologizing to the audience and shit. He's like, I was drunk off my ass, Jen was drunk off her ass, and blah 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 blah. And Elliot's like, I thought a fight was gonna break out. Like, Al, you missed it. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, a fight wasn't gonna break out. I ordered pizza for everyone. Like, it's fine. But it was just hysterical because it's like, when going back and re-listening to it, it's like, we had, like, deep shit that we were talking about. We had freaking me picking on Junior about something. We had, like, Jen's little black book.
Oh, yeah. God.
We started the night off with those freaking Jello shots that Jen brought. It was the first time we had Christian come down and, like, talk for, like, a couple minutes and stuff. You did, like, a couple of your prison stories. Elliot showed up, like, an hour and 45 minutes into us already recording. And then, like, we're getting drunker and drunker, and we were talking about, like, your guys' dad, he passed away. My mom, she passed away. Junior's, like, immense hatred for Big. Like, Elliot, like, tying girls up and throwing them in the back of a freaking car. Because he wants to have sex with them.
Yep.
And there was, like, so much shit. And then, like, we got into the topic of, like, Ebonics.
Oh, yeah, God.
And shit. And, like, Chris is just sitting there and he's like...
He's yelling at Jen.
He's yelling at Jen and he's like, yeah, 2 + 2 doesn't equal 4.
Yep.
And, like, just because you say this doesn't mean, like, that. And like, I remember, like, I was pretty, like, tipsy at that same point in time. But at the same point in time, I was still kind of sober.
Yeah.
Where I could look at you and say... Yeah, but Chris, slang is in every language.
That's one thing I've learned. What I would say, like, you know, don't go back and don't filter, don't edit anything we said because this is what I've at least tried to make with us. Is that
keep it pure, keep it honest.
Yeah.
Don't go back.
And like when he told me, he's like, I cut out like the last hour because it was a 4-hour freaking podcast.
Because the iMac, that's why I checked the iMac now. The iMac had low storage, it would fucking freeze. It froze, and we were talking and not realizing we were just talking without anything being recorded, so that's why I check it now constantly. So.
And like it was just so fucking hysterical to me because
what's the fucking point that I've told Salena? Like I said, Salena goes back and like coming up to her. I do actually want to get her for next time when Al comes over for her 1 year anniversary because she came here a year ago. And like said, it's like honey, I said I hate phoniness. I like realism. We've had some great times, some bad times. Overall, though, I'm overall happy with you. I'm glad things reconciled. But I said don't act like it seems like fucking marriages. I hate when people have like the perfect fucking marriage. If you think you've been fucking married for 10, 15, 20 years, it's always been perfect, you're in severe denial. I like people that show marriages that are real because it's like they always say it requires work. It requires hard dedication. And said, some days, Salena, I want to strangle her. And I know she wants to kill me. Some days she's the love of my life, but I'm overall happy. Yeah, there are some days where I'm like, I want to fucking choke the shit out of you. Like, so. But overall, I'm happy. But I said, it's like, so everybody here has had fucking times where you listen back to it and you're like, I said what? But that's what makes it real and also makes it hilarious where I'm like, damn it, that was stupid shit, but it's also funny. So, yeah. But all right, so you're good to go. We did 3.5 hours. So you and Al reunited.
Reunited and it feels so good.
I was just thinking of that freaking song as he said it.
Yeah. So I'll just say my goodbyes to me because Al always does his spiels, let him do it last. But like again, guys, hey, we're on every platform. Rumble, I try my best because I'm one person. I know Al's got to slowly start getting his social media presence back. But Twitter, Facebook, Rumble, YouTube, fucking
Spotify.
Yeah, hopefully we get the fellows down here with the fucking the Real Ridiculous podcast. Those guys are funny as hell. I have to binge watch. Again, guys, I only have so many hours in the day. I'm trying to catch up on other stuff, but like I will binge their podcast. But like I said, we're on every social media platform. Right now we have a small following. It's not just us. We have some friends, some of your friends, some of my friends, some of Al's coworkers. We have 30 to 40 downloads and stuff too. Not a big number. But again, this is November of, fucking 2021. Next November, we could have 10,000 listeners. We don't know. And it's even listen to Joe Rogan. Joe even said Joe's first 4 years, he had a fucking very small following. 1 year Joe hits, next he's a fucking number one podcaster. Not saying we'll hit that, but all it takes is just 1 week, one word of mouth, and bam, it blows up. That's how it happens. So, but it's never been my intention to become like the number one fucking guy on Spotify. But
cool.
If we get 1,000 followers, I'd be happy as fuck with that.
But I'm saying though, it's still funny like when you upload it to freaking YouTube and I asked you too. I'm like, we have 6 subscribers. Like, who are the subscribers? Because I can't check it because it's not under my name.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, well, it's Jen, and it's me, and it's you, and it's Al, and it's Junior, and it's Elliot, and it's this one, and it's that one.
See, YouTube is hard because right now I don't feel like recording you, me, and Al. Plus, I have one iMac. Like a lot of times we said with Joe. Joe has multiple cameras. I'd have to have an iMac a certain angle to record you, me, and Al at the same time. Yeah. YouTube is just the audio version. People, most part, go to YouTube. They want to see video.
Yeah.
It's like I said, no doubt it's easier to listen to the audio, but for most part, you pop in YouTube to listen to YouTube, actually watch videos on YouTube. So it's hard to get that market going, but it doesn't hurt either. So
true.
But said guys, but every platform, this stuff is free. It's going to stay free. I'm never going to charge anybody. If I get a sponsor one day, awesome. If not, hey, cool, whatever. But it's not my intention to be fucking rich off this shit. And I don't ask for people's paycheck, nor do I want it. But like a Big Al would say, I wouldn't be against, doing this stuff 2-3 times a week and retiring from my fucking current employer. But, it's not my fucking main goal. If it happens, it happens. So I'd always say, guys, I don't want your money, nor do I fucking need it. And just stay safe. Thanksgiving's next week. And have a happy holidays. Hopefully we can get another recording before Thanksgiving. So.
Most definitely another recording before Thanksgiving.
Well, since I was going last.
You should battle it out. I see it.
So I was going to say I've changed the name of my YouTube channel.
Good boy.
To Let's Talk Pop Culture. Eventually, I do want to start uploading and start creating videos and shit.
Come down here. Use iMac.
And that's what I was going to say is eventually I have a plan in motion. I do want to start talking pop culture with whoever decides to start listening to and watching the YouTube channel that I have. And it will basically be, pop culture. Like, we've talked about this in the past of doing this with our own podcasts and stuff. I want to take the initiative and begin it with like talking about whatever TV shows, movies, music, books, comic books. You guys, of course, are more into the video games than I am, but trying to have like that unbiased opinion to a degree, like after watching it and like being like, not just being like that person to go out there and be like, hey, don't watch this is shit, or hey, watch this is the shit type thing, but like take this stuff and like do basically like what they do on different channels, like, you know, Screen Junkies or What Culture or stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Al?
Yeah. Well.
So check out my YouTube channel when I finally get it uploaded. Al, continue.
So everybody's talking about future plans, and everybody's future plans sounds great. My future plans are very limited. I am focused. My plan is to put 3 babies in Sue before the year is out.
The year is almost out.
Which means I have to work fast. So, but in all seriousness, you know,
you
the
won't make it
spiel.
up the stairs.
I will make it up the stairs. So.
That's motivation. It's like slaying the dragon.
You guys already know the spiel. Take care of your neighborhood. Take care of your neighbors. Protect your neighborhood. Protect your neighbors. Protect yourself, your family, your loved ones. Do the things that you know is going to help your neighborhood thrive. Donate to your local schools, your libraries, hospitals, fire departments, police stations. You know, do the things that keep you protected, your family protected, your neighborhood protected. That's me signing off.
Awesome. So, hey, cool.
We're out, bitches.
Guys,